Hello and welcome to Week 8 of the Iowa High School football season, and welcome to the CISN Football Pregame Show. I am your host, Blake Walker. Can you believe it is Week 8 already? Well, the weather is changing. It kind of feels like Week 8. We would prefer a little bit cooler, but the playoffs are just around the corner. There are big RPI matchups tonight. There's a big rivalry happening tonight. There is so much to cover here before we get you to the big game. Let's go over to the RPI rankings released on Monday by the IHSAA. Waukee Northwest still sits atop, the only undefeated team left in Class 5A at a perfect 7-0. Dowling Catholic is second, Valley is third, despite Valley winning the head-to-head battle between those two. Sioux City East picks up the big upset win against Johnston. They sit at the number 4 position. And Ankeny, who beat Sioux City East, does have a record of 5-2. They sit at the number 5 position. Iowa City Liberty finds themselves in the 6th spot at a 6-1 record. Johnston, after loss to Sioux City East, drops to 7 at 5-2. Cedar Falls sits in the 8th spot, quietly have sat in the top 10 here most of this season, while Iowa City West sits at 9. And then Dallas Center Grimes sits at the 10 position at 5-2. Technically tied with Dallas Center Grimes is Southeast Polk. They are also at the 10th position. Ankeny Centennial is 12th in the rankings at 4-3. Cedar Rapids Prairie is also 4-3 at the 13th position. 14th is Dubuque Senior at 5-2, the lowest 5-2 team in Class 5A. Norwalk, in their first year in Class 5A, is 4-3. They are at the 15th position. And then there is an absolute dead-on tie for 16th. Waterloo West and Indianola are tied at 16th. Listen to this. They're both 4-3. Their opponents' records are both 31-32. Their opponents' records are both 283 and 284, and the RPI evens out. How about that, Matt? Council Bluffs Abraham Lincoln is 18th, Urbandale is 19th, and Waukee is 2-5. Waukee is the highest 2-win team by a significant margin, still sitting at the 20th position. Remember, top 16 make it to the postseason straight up. The top 8 get to host playoff games. When we come back, we're going to talk to Coach Kapatich and Coach Baker of Waukee Northwest and Waukee ahead of the Battle of Key tonight, one of the biggest games of the season for those two teams. We'll be right back. You're watching the CISN Football Pregame Show.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Welcome back to the CISN Football Pregame Show. Blake Walker along with you here this evening, getting closer to the big game tonight. One of the big games tonight, Waukee versus Waukee Northwest, the third installment when it comes to football between these two teams. Waukee Northwest won the first matchup 20-17 2 years ago. Waukee then took last year's matchup 40-29. We had a chance to talk to both head coaches ahead of tonight's game. Here with Coach Kapatich of the Waukee Northwest Wolves. Coach, you got a big one this week here against Waukee. Every week's a big one, but a rival. Obviously, a game like this is a big game. How do you prepare your team for a week like this? Or is it just another week and it's just another opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that's one thing that has allowed us to have success this year so far is we have taken it one game at a time. So we haven't really thought about Waukee until this week, but we know they're a really good opponent, and so I think it's just like every other week. We have a lot of good teams in our schedule, and I think we have the same approach regardless of who we're playing.
Had a big win last week at Southeast Polk. What were some of the big takeaways that you took away from especially a defensive performance and offensive that you saw last week?
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively we've just gotten so much better since week one. I think I mentioned it last week. We implemented a new defense this year, and I think every week we've gotten better on defense. So I was happy with how our defense played, and Then offensively, we're continuing to play well there, and I thought we've had some good special teams play as well.
When a team like, social media like it is, everybody looks at RPI, everything else. You guys are sitting number one. Last couple of years, you guys have kind of been in the middle and whatnot. Do you think your guys do a pretty good job of just staying focused on the task at hand and not worrying about any outside noise that there is?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big focus for us. And I think a lot of that comes with leadership. We have some really good leaders on the team. And so I think that helps. And then just our preparation, we had a good off season, and we got a lot of guys that put a lot of work into this. And so, I think all those things are important in weeks like this.
What's it going to take to win here on Friday night? Obviously, keeping emotions in check is everything. But if you guys come away with a win on Friday night, what was the key factor in it?
Well, Waukee's a really good team. I mean, they've got, 3 or 4 divisional football players on the team. They've got a quarterback that started for 4 years. So it's going to be a dogfight. I mean, any of these rivalry games always are. So it'll be a tough game. I think it'll be a 4-quarter battle. It's going to come down to, like most of these games, discipline and taking care of the ball and physicality and all those things. So, I think, if we want to be the more physical team and hopefully, limit mistakes on our side.
Coach, I appreciate your time here, and good luck to you and the Wolves here on Friday night.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Here with Coach Gabe Baker of Waukee for the Warriors. Coach, thanks for joining us here this week. You got a big one this week. I feel like you've had a big one all season. You guys have pretty much have the toughest schedule in the state, unfortunately, here this year and then into next year with this 2-year schedule. You're 2-5 coming into the week. The season has been up and down, but talk about the thoughts going into a rivalry game like this. I look at it as the fact that it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. It's like Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Is that a mindset that you and your team have going into Friday night?
Yes, absolutely. Like you said, we've had a grind of a schedule. A lot of teams do, but I think we've had one of the tougher ones. I think it's really shown us a lot about our kids. But when we came into this week and we met on Sunday night like we normally do, we just really talked about how none of the other 7 weeks matter at this point. It's a 1 week at a time season, and having Northwest in front of us, the number 1 ranked team is going to be a big challenge, but I know our kids are excited.
You've had this game now twice now, obviously on the road once and then at home last year. What is the difference in a game like this? I mean, obviously you set it up for this week. They're bigger in some aspects, but what comes down to winning these ball games? You've won it once. What comes down to it?
I think, first of all, you have to keep your emotions in check. It's an emotional game for coaches and players and families and the students. So got to keep your emotions in check, got to play within yourself, and turnovers. Turnovers, like any ball game, are going to swing this ball game, so we got to take care of that football.
You guys have a couple seniors leading the way. This year so far, have there been any underclassmen, juniors, sophomores that have really stood off the page for you this year?
Yeah. I think we get contributions from a lot of kids. I think our defensive lineman, Mason Mortz, has done a great job, not only on the field, but just as a leadership role in that position group. We've had some other kids step up in key spots. Through the battle this season, there's been some injuries, so you're probably going to see some new faces or some unfamiliar faces here on Friday night.
Obviously, just a couple more games here left with your son at quarterback. From a dad's perspective, what has it been like coaching him, and how are you cherishing these last couple games with him at the helm? And obviously, then he graduates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've told a lot of people I want to trade it for anything in the world. It's been fun to watch him grow on the football field, and just as a person through the last couple of years. I've gotten a chance to see him probably more in high school than a lot of parents get to see their kids. But it's going to be bittersweet because I'm excited for him and his growth and his future. But I don't think I'm ready to now be coaching him yet.
Coach, I appreciate your time, and good luck to you and the Warriors here on Friday night.
Hey, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. I want to give a quick shout out to both those coaches for sitting down and chatting with us. We appreciate all coaches for talking to us all season long. When we come back, we're going to talk some big games in the RPI tonight, not just in the Metro, but around the state. We're going to preview tonight's games and talk about what's on the Central Iowa Sports Network tonight. More when we return.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network. Blake Walker along with you here. Let's take a look at the other games going on tonight, not just in the Metro, that involve the RPI that you're going to want to keep an eye on tonight. Number 9, Iowa City West takes on number 13, Prairie. Two teams that are still trying to find their footing here as of late. Prairie coming off a loss last week, can't afford many more. The Hawks are going to be really, really tough-nosed today. They're going to have to get a big win over Iowa City West, a team that's full of firepower, but like I said, two teams trying to still find their identity. Number 7, Johnston goes on the road to number 11, Southeast Polk. Two teams that are coming off two very different losses, if you will. Southeast Polk struggled against Milwaukee Northwest. Johnston falls to Sioux City East at home. These two teams have had so many good games over the last couple of years. This is a big one, especially for Southeast Polk trying to rally the troops and get into the postseason. Number 15, Norwalk takes on Urbandale. Norwalk's trying to get into the postseason in their first year in Class 5A, which would be quite the feat. Urbandale's gotten a little bit of winning in the last couple weeks, albeit their strength of schedule has not been great, but they're sitting just outside of the top 16 at the number 19 position. This is a big one between these two teams. And then another one out on the eastern side of Iowa, number 14, Dubuque Senior. Like I said, the lowest 5-2 team in Class 5A. They take on 3-4 Pleasant Valley. PV doesn't have a chance most likely to make the postseason, but they can ruin Dubuque Senior's chances. This is a big one here tonight on the eastern side of the state. We're going to send it over to our preview of tonight's game, the game that you'll be watching. Here's the preview for what you got coming up. Number 2, Dowling Catholic in the RPI. The Maroons at 6-1 host the 12th-ranked Ankeny Centennial Jaguars at 4-3. Not bad for Centennial to be 4-3 and still holding on to the number 12 position. Struggled in the first half against Indianola last week. We were able to come away with the victory 33-15 in that one. So you recover, but now you got to go on the road. Dowling Catholic has looked very, very good ever since the loss to Valley in the opening week. Wins over Dallas Center Rhymes, Southeast Polk 45-14, Waukee last week 30-14. Dowling Catholic really clicking on all cylinders. Joey Nahas, 1,482 yards and 17 touchdowns in the passing category. Ian Middleton, 818 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. And don't forget Sam Drexler and a really good, talented Jeffrey Roberts, one of the best wide receiver corps in the state besides Waukee Northwest. On the other side for Ankeny Centennial, young Brecken Miller, the sophomore quarterback, still trying to find his footing here. 783 yards this season and 11 touchdowns. They lean on Javaris Morgan, their running back, 907 yards this year, 122 more in the passing offense. This is going to be one that you think is going to be a little tight close. We'll see if Dowling can pull away late, or can Ankeny Centennial pick up one of the bigger wins they've had in the last couple of years. Dowling Catholic's home winning streak when at Valley Stadium is well over 15 games. The Maroons do not lose at home. Excited to see what happens here tonight. That will do it for us tonight here on the Central Iowa Sports Network pregame show. It's been fun talking with you. We are excited to get you to the football field this evening. Week 8, playoffs just around the corner. It is crunch time. Enjoy the games, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Kids, and it's just fun to see them, and hard to believe that they've reached the pinnacle, this part of their career already.
Yeah, that is true. Coach Wilson talked about that in the pregame with some of these kids, all the way from Catholic CFL football, Catholic Football League to now. So there's a lot of time invested, and
it is.
So we've got a little bit of an extension. They put 3 minutes on the game clock, so that means we'll have a little bit like an extended halftime, but actually it's an extended pregame. So we're going to have some warm-up time because that was a very long presentation. John?
And it's not quite done yet.
No, I think, they're still introducing.
Yeah,
so
they're still introducing
I just think Brian Morris has made his way to the field. Brian, you're not interfering with that as we go down to our Jenny Furl team Remax Concepts sideline report with Brian Morris. You're staying out of the way, right?
I am staying out of the way, but it is a big line, and I think we've got about probably 10 more support staff or people who help with the team, and Yeah, Ankeny's out here warming up in the south end zone. Dowling boys kind of all went back in, but the weather is really interesting. It's just very still down here tonight. Again, the flags, if you look over there on the north side of the stadium, just no movement of the air right now.
Yeah, and I just wrote down, I'm glad you mentioned that, Brian. 66 degrees, west wind at 5 miles per hour, the humidity up at 90%. And we got several more folks being introduced on our pregame. But, hey, guys, it's Dowling and Centennial. These two teams have battled the last few years. There was a gap there. We didn't play Centennial. But a walk-off pick six in 2023, and last year a 3-overtime win for Dowling here at Valley Stadium. And then in the playoffs, a 14-10 win over at Mediacom Stadium in the second round of the playoffs, and Dowling with a goal line stand to win that one. So they've had some great games recently, Matt.
Yeah, I remember that playoff game, one of the best individual plays in my memory of getting the stop there at the goal line for the Maroons last year in the playoffs. That 3-overtime game here last year, that was just fun. And it's just been, it's a battle every time they meet, and it's a lot like Valley. You have these coaches who have been around each other a long time, and they know each other inside and out, and there's nothing to hide, and it's just a matter of execution when it gets to these two teams.
That is certainly true, and Brian Morris, how could you forget the Kenny James pick six from 99 yards to walk it off back in 2023 up there at Ankeny. That was memorable, and of course it was also Keith Murphy and Andy Fales and Justin Cernsey on TV 13 had it live too, so that made it even more enjoyable with those guys.
Yeah, it was again Dowling Ankeny. They have Ankeny Centennial. Excuse me.
Centennial.
They've had some great games over the past several years, and again when Ankeny. This came about 2011, 12, roughly. They started their team, and again, each team has kind of ebbed and flowed. But Ankeny Centennial had a really good team last year. They had to rebuild a little bit this year. They're 4-3 coming into this game, so we'll see how the senior night impacts the Maroons because it does change the whole pregame routine for all these guys.
Yeah, it does, and that's a good point, but. It's just like a weather delay, Matt. You don't prepare for it. You may talk about it, but once it hits, now you're stuck with it. And how do you extend things out? I know Centennial, the visiting team, Dowling comes here in buses too, so they're technically a visiting team, but they're just wearing the home jerseys on their home field.
And you talk about the weather delays. I remember being a part of a number of them over the years, and it's so hard when you're sitting there and you do everything to get ready for a certain time, and then I've been involved before where they're out on the field, and then the lightning comes. You got to go back in, and you haven't even had a snap yet, and that's probably even more problematic sometimes, but it does disrupt the start of everything, and we are on the air now.
With CISN, they are now with us, right? So CISN want to welcome that group, and first of all, Iowa Catholic Radio Group, Matt Maindring, Brian Morris is on the sidelines tonight of Dowling, and I'm Mark Amadale. Welcome. Our studio producer for Iowa Catholic Radio is Vinny Cataldo, and he has John Nielsen helping him tonight. And our CISN staff, Aaron Bandy is our director, and Sammy Nord is our one and only photographer. So we just have the one camera. We decided not to put a camera down with Brian tonight. Brian, I hope you're not too offended by that.
No, I'm never offended by the camera not being on me. Trust me.
Well, let's thank our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. We're probably going to take a 1-minute break, so heads up to CISN and Iowa Catholic Radio Network. We'll take a 1-minute break here, but let's go through our supporters, and we want to thank them on this Dowling Senior Night. Without them, we couldn't bring you this broadcast, and it's 49 years on Iowa Catholic Radio. We've been broadcasting Dowling Catholic football. Bows and the Floors is one of our sponsors, along with Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, along with the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skevington's Formal Wear, and Fast Signs in Clive. And our thanks to our Red Zone sponsor, the Glazers, John, Libby, and even Becca back there at Iowa Wealth Management. The Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth. You can learn more at iowawealth.com. And, of course, our sideline reports by the Jenny Farrell team, RE/MAX Concepts. Jenny Farrell team has been helping generations of Dowling Catholic families with their real estate investments for almost 30 years. You can learn more at jenniferfarrell.remax.com. We'll take a 1-minute break and return to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Week 8, it's the Dowling Catholic, second rank with a record of 6-1, taking on 12th ranked Ankeny Centennial with a record of 4-3. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Touchdown fairway.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V-Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top-notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
You can use that chair, Bob. Pull up right here. This is kind of... And welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Just about set for kickoff. Dowling and Ankeny Centennial in Week 8 of our high school football coverage on Friday nights. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Mandering and Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. Brian will be giving us our Jenny Farrell Team Remax Concepts sideline report. And Brian, I know you weren't here last week, but the Maroons, their adjustment in their offensive line has Cade Krause going from center to left guard, replacing the injured Josh Miller, who dislocated his elbow. He's going to sit out this week and next for the Maroons. And Owen Marr, senior, gets to move in to play center. So that'll be one thing we'll be looking at offensively for Dowling. And, of course, you were with me in Cedar Rapids when, unfortunately, Leo Pagano tore his ACL and is out for the year. And the Maroons moved in Kyle Schumacher into the defensive starting lineup, and they moved Jackson Miller into Pagano's spot, and Schumacher played defense. So we got a chance to see that last week a little bit in action, Brian.
Yeah, we'll be looking for the center, exchange, because when that happens, at least they've had all week to practice that. Sometimes you get that during the middle of a game, and it gets the timing gets off a little bit, but they've had all week to work on that. So hopefully there's nothing in the center exchange tonight that causes Dowling any angst.
We didn't see much of that last week, Brian. To your point, we talked about that in the postgame show when Owen Marr was one of our guests, and he said, and I complimented him on it, said he came in and didn't even know that there was no drop-off there. So we'll have to see if that continues. But, Matt, that is so important at center.
It was pretty seamless. And, when Josh came off last week, we didn't know what the injury was. And then I didn't know until we got into school on Monday. And then I talked to him about it a little bit. But he assured me he'll be back. But there was no drop-off. And Owen did a great job. And you don't know if they had to adjust some of the plays that they couldn't call, that they'd rather call in the other situation. But there might be some other options with Owen at center.
Well, Dowling will start on defense. So the Maroon defense, Ryan Bobo, who's now second in tackles on that defensive line, along with Brady Hagan, Miles Elcott, and Anthony Badano. That's three seniors and the junior Hagan up there. Linebackers, Kyle Schumacher, Jackson Miller, and Joel Sanko, all seniors, with Carlos Blunt, who leads the team in tackles with 37.5 for the Maroons. And then the secondary, Jordan Watson and Maddox Capola, seniors, along with Jeremiah Robertson, a junior, in the secondary for Dowling. And we'll see in there possibly Patrick Sullivan. Ian Middleton will come in, and so will Jack McLaughlin. And all seniors that I just mentioned there on senior night, with 32 seniors in action. So Ryan Kuhn will kick off, and we're going to see the Ankeny Centennial offense for the first time. And Coach Bizzetti's had that offense around. It used to be the wishbone, then it's a broken bone, and now it's kind of a variation, but it is very effective. And you better find the ball.
Read your keys and just stay in your lanes. It was interesting. I thought we saw more Ian Middleton on defense last week when necessary, and it'll be interesting to see how much he plays there this week.
Maroons with a squib kick, and it's going to be picked up at the 15-yard line by Centennial and hit and dropped at the 26 as he gets the ball across the 25 to the 26. Is Ankeny Centennial, and that is Matheny on the return. And it'll be Centennial football to start things off, and the Dowling defense on the field right now.
Jackson Miller on the tackle for the Maroons to start off the kick coverage, and a host of Maroons there with him to stop the ball, and here we go.
All right, Centennial with the first down at their own 28-yard line. Just underway, a late start tonight. If you joined us here on Iowa Catholic Radio CISN, we had a little weather delay of about a half hour. And, yeah, it is at 7:30, so we're about a half hour behind the rest of the game, or the rest of the teams. And now we got an offside on Dowling to start the game as Centennial went in motion. Let's talk about the Centennial starting lineup on offense tonight. The quarterback is a sophomore, and he's done a good job. Brecken Miller, 6'1", 185-pound sophomore, has thrown for 11 touchdowns and 4 interceptions this year, 783 yards in the air. J.J. Morgan, Max Schmidt, and Devin Good in the backfield. They'll use all 3 running backs. 2 of them line up behind the tackles, and the one in the backfield behind quarterback Miller. Wide receivers, Brody Prill. Cameron Miners is our leading receiver with 5 touchdowns, and Cade Newman will get the offensive line after this play. It's 1st and 5 for Centennial, and they give it to the tailback. He's got the first down. Nice run right up the gut over the A-gap. He goes.
And that is
Devin Good, I believe.
Devin Good, the other tailback. And all eyes are on J.J. Morgan, and the fake went to him originally. He gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage, but he didn't have the ball. And then in through the line comes Good for a big gain and a first down for Ankeny.
So first down, Jaguars. They send 2 receivers to the left. Camden McAtee, Kenyon Leak, Carter Shuddy, Kane Brooks, the two-way player, and Asher McGonigal. And here's a handoff, and this time near a first down as they run a little jet sweep to the left of the formation. And I'll tell you what, a nice run that time. Which back was it? They got off the bottom of that pile, that was Max Schultz.
That was J.J. Morgan, I believe, on the run there for Centennial. You know, the hard thing about this offense is it's so challenging to replicate it in practice all week. I mean, you can run through the plays and have your scout team offense do it, but they cannot replicate the speed that Ankeny Centennial will go at it with them. And that's what's going to take a few plays here to get used to.
2nd and 1, Centennial from midfield. And back to throw is quarterback Miller. Rolls to his right, has time, looking, wants to run, and he'll be forced out of bounds, but I think he got the first down, and he did, right at the 49 of Dowling, pickup of 1.
They ran J.J. Morgan on a wheel route right there, and what we mean by that is he'll come out of the backfield and run down the sidelines as the other receivers converge to the middle of the field. And he did get behind the defense, but Miller didn't pull the trigger and ends up taking the ball down and runs out of bounds.
So it's 1st and 10, Centennial. The tight end, Cade Newman, and along with Owen Gaspery, they share that. We'll also see Luke Mitchell's another receiver in there, and also Nash Taggart, another tailback that'll be in the mix for Coach Pizzetti. They send a man in motion. They give it to the tailback, and he stood up and dropped right at the point of attack by the Maroons, and that being number 2, the tailback that time, Brody Prill, who is also a receiver, and he was hitting stuff right at the line of scrimmage.
I believe Jackson Miller came in there, or it was Miles Elcock. I mean, right in the middle of that, he got stuffed. And Miles Elcock and Hagan are right in the middle of the field there and ready to stop everything up. And there they got him behind the line of scrimmage.
So no gain in the play to bring up 2nd and 11. They're going to give him a loss of 1, so 2nd and 11. As Miller, calling out signals, throws a lateral pass to the left, and it is caught, and that is J.J. Morgan trying to get outside the numbers. He's hit and stopped for about a yard back to the original line of scrimmage, the Dowling 48, and I'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
And that's a good matchup there. Joel Sanko out there for the Maroons as he's able to go up there and shed the blocker, get to Morgan before he's able to get any speed behind him and stops him for a short gain.
All right, Cameron Miners, 1 receiver. He is their leading receiver, has 5 touchdowns and over 400 yards of receiving yards. He'll be split at the bottom of your screen if you're watching on CISN. So 2 receivers to the right, double tight end set to the left, out of the shotgun, Miller. Brecken with the snap, looking downfield, rushes on, screen pass, caught by J.J. Morgan, and he's hit and drops, and now he breaks a tackle. He's got the first down inside the 30 of Dowling, all the way down to the 24 of Dowling. So he was hit initially, but he broke the tackle, and hopefully we'll get the replay on CISN.
Yeah, they get the screen set up perfectly, and they get the blocks, and he sheds a couple tacklers.
Nice
and
move.
I'll tell you what, Jackson Miller saved a touchdown right there.
So that goes for a big yardage on a 3rd and long for Centennial. 24-yard run, first down. Centennial. 8:45 remaining, first quarter, no score. But Centennial threatening the red zone right now. They put Morgan in motion, and they give it to him. Second man through, follows his tailback into the line, down to the 20-yard line. Nice mesh that time by Brecken Miller. Faked the one and gave it to the other.
Yeah, very similar to the first play of the ball game. They fake it to the fullback, who's lined up right by the quarterback, into the A gap on the left side, and then Morgan follows into the next gap with the ball, and pretty effective as he can get down there as the linebacker's eyes go to the first guy through the line of scrimmage.
Second down, 6 for Centennial. The ball in the Dowling 20. Back to throw. Miller fires in the end zone. Has a man there, Miners, and he overthrew everybody in single coverage that time. Dowling on defense. That'll stop the clock with 8:03 to go here in the first quarter, and it brings up third down and 6 for Centennial at the Dowling 20.
Great positioning there by Jeremiah Roberson as he was in position and basically screened off the receiver to the football and had a shot at it, and Miners kind of fell down and then slowed up the defender to get to the ball too. Some heady play by him.
2 receivers left for Centennial, and they'll bring the tight end on the right side. As Brecken Miller under center, toss play left side, and they try to get outside the numbers. They do, and he's angling for the sideline, and he's near a first down. He needed 6, and he got close to it as a little toss play. Let's see which back it was.
That was that was Morgan again.
Is that JJ?
Yeah, that was JJ
right.
Morgan again. They're going to be a yard short.
So they're spotting down right at the 15-yard line, gain of 5. He needed 6 for the first down, so they'll bring up 4th and 1, Centennial, and they're going to go for it. Why wouldn't you? They've taken the opening kickoff, which started back at their own 28-yard line. Then the penalty started at their 33 when they first ran a play. This will be the 11th play of the Ankeny Centennial drive. Here's the snap. The give is to the
he's short.
Second man through, and hit and dropped is the tailback, and that time coming through there
hard to tell
was
who was
Devin
on.
Good, and
Yeah.
he's hit and dropped and back for a loss, and Dowling will take over on basically a nice stand in the red zone.
It was, and you'll see the replay here on CISN is that we used to call that a double dive. Some teams run that double dive out of that, out of a full house backfield, and that's what that was right there. You fake to the first back, give it to the second back, and that time when the stances are tighter, that play gets tough to run, and the Dowling defense just ate it up.
So Centennial goes 11 plays, and their drive fizzles out at the Dowling 15. Now the Dowling offense on the field. Joey Nahas at quarterback. Little swing pass caught by Jeffrey Roberts. Gets outside the number, down the near sideline. He finally runs out of bounds at the 34 of Dowling.
That one was close, and they had the numbers out there. They had 3 receivers, only 2 defenders out there, and they both got their blocks. And Roberts set him up inside, runs to the sidelines, and just about got the edge.
Pickup of 18 yards on the first play from scrimmage for Dowling. Back to throw is Nahas. Joey fires downfield, looks left, hits Roberts right at midfield with the catch, and finally wrestled out of bounds on defense by the Jaguars, and a nice job that time by Nolan Bennett on coverage for the Jags.
Good read by Joey Nahas there. They had Roberts one-on-one on the edge, and the coverage was soft, so he was playing off of him. So Roberts broke it off, came back to the ball, and Nahas put it right on him for a big gain.
16-yard gain, first down Dowling. Back to throw Nahas again, a little swing pass, caught by Sammy Drexler, trying to get outside the numbers, and he's wrestled out of bounds, pushed out of bounds at the 35 of Centennial. And that looked like it was going to go for a big play, and now we got to get our starting lineups for the Dowling offense. Joey Nahas at quarterback, thrown for 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions this year, 1,400. Well, he's now over 1,500 yards on the season, is Joey. With in the backfield, Ian Middleton and Grayson Pennington and Henry Smith look to see action. Like we have a penalty on this play.
Laundry.
Holding on Dowling, and we'll address that. All right, receivers for Dowling, Sam Drexler, number 1, Jeffrey Roberts, number 3, Jimmy Nahas, number 8, and Quinn Schmolback, number 7, the H-back. And then offensive line, Carter Barrett, Cade Krause, Owen Marr, Evan Mitchell, and Max Thomas. Maroons now backing up. It'll be a 1st and 16 back at their own 45-yard line on the holding penalty against Dowling. And now the Maroons will run the ball for the first time, hand off Middleton, and Ian gets across up to the 50-yard line for a gain of 5.
Yeah, the first run play after about five straight passes there. What'd you have? And then four, and giving Ian Middleton the ball. He gets the 5 yards. 2nd and 11, second and manageable here after the penalty.
So 2nd and 11 for the Maroons. 6:55 remaining. First quarter, no score. Dowling and Centennial on a late start. Back to throw. Nahas fires it out. The pass is picked off. Tipped off by Centennial. Stepping right into the passing lane is Will Morris on the return. And the turnover against Dowling on their first series. And Will Morris with the interception.
Yeah, that was thrown into a lot of traffic over the middle of the field. And he was trying to sneak it in there to Roberts, but there was a lot of white jerseys there, and great play by Will Morris there, the senior, picking that off and getting the ball back for Centennial.
So for Nahas, that is his 4th interception that he's thrown this year. And let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report to Brian Morris. Brian?
Yeah, the Maroons had some momentum going there, but you're exactly right. I was right there in the middle of the field, and you could see Joey just tried to throw it in the middle of 2 or 3 defenders.
Yeah, too small of a window. Now back to throw as Miller fires out through behind his intended receiver. Incomplete, dangerous pass. The intended receiver that time was Cade Newman, and a Dowling player was near it, but it hit the turf before then. It's broken up incomplete. It'll bring it 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, they almost gave it right back there as he rolled out. Miller rolled out, and there was I couldn't pick up which defender was chasing him down from behind, if it was Hagan or if it was Bobo, but he had to get it and had a guy hanging on him.
Right, you had an interesting score from Waukee.
Yeah, I want to make sure that score is right.
Because
it doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right. Waukee leading Northwest 14-7. We'll see if that holds up. Now here's a quick pass on 2nd and 10. Caught by Centennial. First down inside the 45-yard line. Great hookup that time between Miller and his receiver, number 14 for the Jags, Luke Mitchell.
Yeah, they found some rhythm here, and that score was correct. Waukee is up over Northwest 14-7. And here, this Dowling defense has been on the field a lot. You know, from a time standpoint, they've been on the field a lot. The Dowling offense went down and moved it, but didn't take long. And Centennial's starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm here offensively.
So Mitchell the catch. And first down, Jaguars at the Dowling 43. And now they put it on the ground and hit and drop right at the point of attack. Was the tailback. And that's Morgan. J.J. Morgan gets a handoff and goes nowhere. Actually loses yardage back to the 46, a loss of 3.
Yeah, loss of 3. Carlos Blount right there made a great play as he shot through and was able to take him down behind the line of scrimmage. Against this style of offense, penetration into the backfield really messes it up. And that's what, to break the timing up and everything else, you get a little penetration, and then that can mess up the whole timing.
All right, 2nd and 13 now for Centennial. The line of scrimmage is the Dowling 46. Back to throw Miller, and he tries to hook up with Cameron Miners, his leading receiver, and he overthrows him incomplete towards the Centennial sideline on the east end of Valley Stadium. So that'll bring up 3rd and 13 for the Jags, and they've come up already twice with big 3rd down plays, and let's see if they can go 3rd and long again.
They've thrown it more than I've seen in Ankeny Centennial. And Dowling's been able to stop the run. They're so hard to run against.
All right, 2 receivers to the right. Man goes in motion. And now the double reverse. And now the pass out of it, and it's caught by Morgan, but he was down as he caught it back at the 48-yard line, so they'll lose 2 yardage. So double reverse, it turned into a flea flicker, and then a short pass to the right side. So it wasn't the big pass, but it was a short pass there on the replay.
It was, and a little too much. And I tell you, they did have, running down the field, number 23, he was open down the field.
Devin Good.
And but Miller didn't have time to look for him.
I know Mr. Good's family. His uncle is across the street from me in Urbandale, and his cousin played for Dowling back in the day. Luke, pretty good baseball and basketball player. All right, here's a punt by Centennial, and Drexler will let it go over his head, and it's going to angle out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Great job by Austin McIntyre, averaging 39 yards a punt, and he puts it back deep into Dowling territory at the 5. So with 4:37 to go here in the first quarter. No score between Dowling Catholic and Ankeny Centennial on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN. Let's go down to our sideline reporter. That is Brian Morris with our Jenny Farrell team sideline report. Go ahead, Brian.
You know, guys, I think some of the reason maybe Ankeny Centennial's throwing a little bit more is they have they have 3 receivers over 6'5", and you look at the Dowling defensive back, they go about 5'9", 5'10", so I think they have a size advantage, as you saw in a couple of those plays, so be looking for that, just that overall 6 to 7 inch height advantage the receivers have.
Oh, you're exactly right. Coach Wilson talked about that, Brian, in our pregame. He mentioned the size differential with the Dowling defensive backs are about 5'9", 5'10", so that may be the key. The other thing is Centennial hasn't been able to run the ball much.
They haven't been able to run the ball, but that's a great pickup, Brian, on the sideline there. They do have that height advantage out there on the edges.
And Middleton with a short carry for 2 yards on the 7. Back to throw Nahas. Fires out. Caught by Roberts. Jeffrey's on the move. Inside the 40. And it's a foot race. Nobody's going to get him. Inside the 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Jeffrey Roberts from 93 yards. Hooking up with quarterback Joey Nahas. And there's a penalty flag down.
There's 2 on the field, and the offense is pointing to come back.
It's all going to come back. Procedure call against Dowling. So the Maroons right now are their own worst enemy. And Brian Morris, that's the second time that's happened tonight.
Yeah, and again, the 2 flags came out on both sides of the field, so both sides of the referee crew saw that. The one thing, the matchup down here, number 2 for Ankeny, let me get his name here. Nash Taggart, he's playing with a hand wrapped up, so he's playing one-handed out here. So he's going to have a hard time making a tackle, and I think Jeffrey Roberts just exposed that there. It's tough to make a tackle with one hand.
Yes, it is. And you mentioned Taggart, who's a linebacker. That would be difficult. So Coach up here saying Dowling didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage.
Oh.
So they had guys that thought they were on the line of scrimmage, and they were not. So procedure call against Dowling out of basically the end zone, handoff Middleton, and Ian gets up to the 10 from the 3-yard line is where they put the ball, and Middleton's up to the 10, so gets some of that penalty yards back. But again, that could be a drive buster there when you get that big penalty on a big play.
Jeffrey Roberts just ran 2 100-yard sprints. He ran the ball all the way down there, then had to run all the way back to get lined up again. But a nice strong run there by Middleton gets it to be 3rd and manageable here for the Maroons.
3rd down and 6 for Dowling on their own 10-yard line. No score, 3.5 minutes to go here on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN. Nahas has plenty of time, now wants to run, and gets away from 1, and is finally tripped up at the 13-yard line. He's shy of the first down. Will bring up 4th and about 2 from the Dowling 13. He needed to get just across the 15 for a first down.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell sometimes where you're at the field. If you stick your foot in the ground and get forward for a couple more yards, but he got the Centennial defense pushed him sideways, and he just couldn't get around the corner and get away. Good pursuit by the Jags defense.
You know, I guess usually there's a guy on my side of the field lining up where they need to be for the first down. One of the chain crew. They must be missing somebody tonight because person's not here tonight.
They are. They're down a guy. Here's a punt out of the end zone by Dowling, and a nice punt by Henry Smid, fielded by Ankeny Centennial at midfield. He dives forward down to the 45-yard line. Good job that time by Devin Good on the punt return for Centennial. They'll have the ball at the Dowling 45 with 2:33 remaining here in the first quarter. No score. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report with Brian Morris. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to reiterate that point, guys, because I saw Nahas kind of was looking. He was running to his left, and there was no marker on this side of the field. I think if he'd have cut it up, he would have got that first down, but he tried to extend the play and get a few more extra yards.
I think it's a great point, Brian, because he was looking to where he had to get to, and there was no place to look for coming this way.
All right, back to throw is Ankeny. Thank you, Brian, for that sideline report. Quick pass by the Centennial quarterback, Miller, and it goes for back to the line of scrimmage on the catch that time by the Jags. So
when you see 4 defensive linemen fly through the line of scrimmage untouched, you think in screen, and so was Joel Sanko. And Joel Sanko sat back and was able to take him down right as soon as the ball was caught. So it was a screen play that Sanko blew up.
All right, so 10 to the line of scrimmage. Again, they go with 1 back in the backfield. The other tailbacks are behind the tackles, and 1 receiver to the right. Centennial going left to right, north to south here at Valley Stadium, and now penalty flags down. They'll kill the play. Procedure call, I'm sure, against Centennial, so that'll back them up. And we want to thank our Supporters tonight of Iowa Catholic Radio, they include Fast Signs and Clive, Skeffton's Formal Wear, and Catholic Tuition Organization. We are simulcasting with CISN, so our thanks to the CISN group for supporting high school football. Next week, week 9, the final week of the regular season in Class 5A. Dowling headed to Marshalltown next Friday night. We'll be on the air at 6:30 with a kickoff at 7 o'clock. And up next for Centennial, they will be home against Sioux City North senior night next Friday night at Ankeny Stadium. All right, 2nd and 15 for the Jags. Miller back to throw, looks left, throws left, pass is caught. Cameron Miners with the catch. And right at the first down marker, they say he went out of bounds. He's probably got the first down.
Yeah, it looks like he got the first down. He put his shoulder down and bowled over the Dowling defender to get that first down. Good play there for him. And Centennial keeps moving the ball just enough. The time of possession here, all in favor of Centennial right now. And really, that's exactly what the Jags want going through the night.
So a gain on the play that gives the Jags a first down at the Dowling 35 with 1:34 remaining here in the first quarter. No score. Fake the toss. Back to throw. Miller being chased. Fires it out. Pass is caught out of the backfield. That's Devin Good with it. And he's down inside the 20 and he's got the first down. Great run by Good after the catch. He had to catch up with the football first and then made a move. We'll watch it on the replay here, man.
Yeah, I thought this play looked like it was going to get blown up there pretty early, and then a missed tackle, and then finally Jackson Miller is able to get to him and take him down after the big gain. And Centennial just out, would you call it the red zone? I would say they're right at the 20-yard line.
20-yard line is where the red zone begins.
Yes.
And that's where the Jags were earlier. They got it all the way down to the 15-yard line before they went for it on 4th down and missed. So final minute going. Morgan in motion. He gets a toss left. Skips a tackle and now hit and drop right at the 19-yard line. They'll give him one, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 9 with 50 seconds remaining in the quarter.
That toss play, they've been running probably almost exclusively to the left side of Ankeny Centennial's offense. They're the wide side of the field, but they do that toss out there to Morgan and get him a little speed and trying to get around the edge, and now Dowling's has caught up with it.
And you talked about the Centennial offensive line. Well, that's where the 3 seniors are, the center, left guard, and left tackle, and you run Morgan left, and you get a block by Newman, the tight end, and he has an avenue to go on, and he almost broke it. Instead, gained 1. So 2nd and 9, this will be the final play of the first quarter with no score. Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. Here's Miller out of the shotgun. Back to throw. Stays in the pocket. Avoids one tackle. Now wants to run. Angling out of bounds. He's finally hit and dropped inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. And it stops the clock with 11 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Miller shot up through there. Nothing was open. He steps up into the pocket, sees nothing, and then he evades and gets out, and Jackson Miller pursuing him and runs out of bounds. Small gain. Kept the play alive and the drive alive.
So we will have one more play.
We will have one more play.
Didn't count on him going out of bounds. 3rd down. 3rd and 7 for Centennial at the Dowling 17.
Yeah, it's going to even be longer. There's a timeout.
And a timeout on the field. So we will keep it here along our network lines on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN. 11 seconds left in the first quarter. And no score, Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. Bozen the Florist is one of our sponsors on Iowa Catholic Radio, along with Ashworth Vision Clinic and Construction Professionals. Let's go down to Brian Morris with our Jenny Farrell Team Remax Concepts Sideline Report. Brian?
Yeah, guys, I think it's probably about 80% Ankeny offense to about 20% Dowling offense. Defense has been on the field a lot, and you think about the size advantage we talked about. They exploited that a play or two ago when they threw the receiver, and he was 6'6", and he ran over our poor Jordan Watson, who's only 5'9". So, again, Ankeny definitely has a little advantage. And, coming into this game, they just didn't throw the ball very much at all year.
And a night where it's pretty humid out, Brian, the Dowling defense has been out there most of the first quarter.
Yeah, they really have. And, again, the defensive line people are really doing a good job of pursuing the quarterback.
Yeah, and they'll keep rotating players in. I know the Maroons have done that. Thanks, Brian Morris. So 11 seconds remaining out of the timeout, which was called by Centennial. Back to throw Miller. He wants to throw it in the end zone. He does, and the pass is incomplete. And there's a lot of arm wrestling going on between the two between receiver and defender, and they were using that tall receiver, Cameron Myers.
Yeah.
He was battling the Dowling defender.
Yeah, up against Jordan Watson again, and Brian was talking about the height differential there, but Jordan Watson did an outstanding job there of getting his body in position against the big defender, and Miller was trying to throw a jump ball to Miners, but Jordan Watson held his ground, didn't let Miners jump over him to the football.
All right, a 34-yard field goal being attempted by Noah Manning, and he's 0 for 2 on the season. Ball's down, kick is high enough, it's long enough, and it is good. So the first field goal of the season for Noah Manning, and it comes from 34 yards out. And Ankeny Centennial has struck first as they lead Dowling Catholic by the score of 3-0 with 2 seconds remaining in the first quarter. We'll take a break and come back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
This ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Here is a kickoff by Ankeny Centennial. Dowling on the return. A nice return. Breaks a tackle at the 40, and a nice return across the 40 up to the 44-yard line by Dowling Catholic, Matt Maindring on the return.
Leighton Oldfield right there. Said,
Backup tight end.
Give me the ball. Played like a true tight end right there, and scooped that thing up and run. He wasn't going to have – he got it popped right away, and he drug everybody about 7 more yards.
So with that was the final play of the first quarter on that return. So we'll keep it here. We just went to a break. Dowling and Ankeny Centennial. Jags lead it 3-0 on a nice drive by Centennial. 5 plays, 45 yards, capped off by a 54-yard field goal by a 34-yard field goal by Noah Manning. As good job, Rowan Doak, the backup quarterback, the holder, and Brant Russellberg, the long snapper for Centennial, and all went without a hitch. And let's go down to Brian Morris for a Jenny Farrell sideline report. Brian?
Yeah, you think about, football, any sport, like one play can make a huge difference. That 97 yards touchdown was a tough one to take back, and I know the Dowling coaches were talking to the referees in line. But then the next time out, all the Dowling receivers were making sure they were in the right spot on the line to make sure that there was not another pick.
Yeah, that's very important. There were just not enough players on the line of scrimmage, and that play got called back. Now Dowling on first play of the second quarter hands it off to Ian Middleton. Maroons going left to right, north to south, and Middleton gets across from his own 44, gets across midfield and brought down at the Centennial 48. And this is where you want to see the Dowling offense now, giving the defense a rest.
Yeah, and it's so hard when you have these talented receivers out there, and you gosh, when you get those big plays, and now we're going to see Ian Middleton, I think, for a little bit. Oh, there's a little flip pass.
2-yard run by Middleton, and now a little swing pass to the left. Caught, first down, Dowling inside the 35. And that's somebody that's not in the rotation much, but he did a nice job.
That's Leighton Oldfield.
Oldfield again.
Yeah.
The sophomore.
He said, hey, you ran like that in the kick return? Coach said, we'll give you a little bonus here. Bonus play. And it was a great ball fake, and he's wide open on the left flat, and give him the ball and let him run.
So first down at the 33 of Centennial, and handoff goes to Middleton, and Ian. It's about 4 or 5 yards. He crashes across the 30 down to the Centennial 28-yard line to pick up a 5 officially.
A little blitz there by Ankeny Centennial, and Middleton shakes off the tackler in the backfield, 2 yards deep in the backfield, gets through the line of scrimmage, and then carries it forward for 5 yards.
So we'll bring up second down and 5. Dowling. Maroons trail 3-0 to Ankeny Centennial, and both teams looking to cash in the final 2 games of the regular season. Dowling tonight against Centennial, and next week on the road, close out the regular season at Marshalltown. Back to throw. Or here is a little handoff, and this goes the jet sweep to Jeffrey Roberts, and just following his blockers and gets all the way down to the 20-yard line. And he should have the first down. It looks like he does. A gain of 8 on that jet sweep. We've seen it run it with Sam Drexler, and now we're seeing it run with Roberts.
That one was run with Roberts, and he had a whole pile of maroon jerseys out in front of him just bowling forward.
Gain of 8. 1st and 10 Dowling at the Centennial 20-yard line. Back to throw is quarterback Nahas. The pass is, I got to say, it's incomplete. The officials get together and converge, and then we get a late signal. As Dowling now in the Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm, Red Zone, helping clients grow and protect their wealth. Learn more at iowawealth.com. Our thanks to the Glazer family and all the folks in the office, John, Libby, and Becca. Appreciate all they do sponsoring our Red Zone. 3 receivers left, 2nd and 10 Dowling from the Centennial 20-yard line. Nahas gives it to Middleton. Right up the gut he goes, and he may go. Breaks the tackle at the 10, trying to shirt tail and tackle at the 5, and they drug out of bounds at the 1, and they had him by the shirt tail, and that was about it, and they ran him out.
They did, and you can't bring him down that way. And a little flip, a fake out to the left, and Ian Middleton explodes through the middle, and he gets down to the 1-yard line, and you got to think this is Ian Middleton territory right here at 1st and goal.
Nolan Bennett, one of the safeties, makes the stop for Centennial. 1st and goal Dowling on a 19-yard run by Middleton. Pistol formation. Nahas, the give to Middleton over the left side. Touchdown as Ian Middleton follows his offensive line, the left side. Carter Barrett at tackle, Cade Krause, the left guard, and center Owen Marr. Touchdown Maroons, and Dowling now takes its first lead of the night, 6-3 over Centennial, pending the extra point.
And that was pretty much done all on the ground. They had the little pass to Oldfield at the beginning of that drive, and then it was Ian Middleton and Jeffrey Roberts carrying the ball and doing the work there for the Maroons.
So the Maroons go 56 yards on 7 plays, and now the extra point by Ryan Kuhn, and now offside Centennial. And let's see if Coach Wilson goes for 2, because that'll be half the distance.
I think, well, they're going to decline it. Because sometimes I've seen Coach Wilson, go into the bag of tricks here just for a little window dressing later in the year.
6-3 score, and he's just going to go for the extra point. Actually declined the penalty, so we'll start it all over. The extra point, the holder will be Owen McConville, and the long snapper for Dowling is Jack McLaughlin. Ball's down, and Ryan Kuhn's extra point up and good. So Dowling leading 7-3 over Centennial in a back-and-forth game with 9:56 remaining. Second quarter.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
All right, we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Senior night for Dowling Catholic. Kickoff by the Maroons and picked up by Devin Good, and he returns it for the Jaguars across the 35 up to the 36-yard line. The Jags will have it there. 1st and 10, trailing 7-3 to Dowling Catholic with 9:51 remaining here in the second quarter. Let's go down to our sideline, our Jenny Farrell sideline report with Brian Morris. And Brian, take it away.
Yeah, guys, that was what the doctor ordered and needed, because the Dowling offense was able to utilize some of the clock, take some time, let the defense get some rest, and they kind of got away from the pass, let Ian Middleton do his thing. Maybe it'll open up the passing game a little bit more now.
That's Brian Morris with our Jennifer Farrell team sideline report. JenniferFarrell.remax.com. 1st and 10 Centennial. Now a little end around. Handoff J.J. Morgan, and he's hit and driven down. Tripped up in the backfield, and Ian Middleton, I think, was to the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
He just got done running in for the touchdown, or was Sanko?
That was Sanko.
Joel Sanko with the stop.
Yeah, Joel was there, and they've all of a sudden you've started to see the run game disappear for Centennial here. The movement and the speed of the offense, that now the defense is caught up with it. Like I said, you can only replicate that in defense or in scout team to a certain degree, and now the defense has caught up.
Loss of 5, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 15 for the Jags. Back to throw Miller, looking to set up the screen. No, he wants to go long. Now rolls out of the pocket, fires right side. Caught, 1st down, Centennial across the 45, and now the ball is stripped away. And Dowling's got it.
Got it.
And that may have been, and it was Jordan Watson with the strip, but who recovered it there? And Brian, you're right there.
Kyle Schumacher, guys, did.
Schumacher on the recovery, and we'll see the replay.
On here, and Jordan Watson did a great job and put his helmet right on the football and popped it out of the hands of Owen Gasperi.
And Dowling will have the ball at the Centennial 45-yard line. Hey, Brian, doesn't Carlos Blunt take credit for all those fumbles?
I was watching who got up the pile, and it was Schumacher for sure.
Carlos used to take credit for every fumble, even though he didn't recover it. I remember that earlier.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. All right, 1st down Dowling from the 45 of Centennial. Handoff Middleton. Ian blasts his way, picks up 5 down inside the 40 to the 39. And I'll tell you what, the Maroons running left, they really like the left side of that offensive line, what's going on there. Carter Barrett, Cade Krause, Owen Marr. Don't forget the right side, Evan Mitchell and Max Thomas.
Yeah, now they split Ian Middleton out wide here. And let's see, now they're going to shift him. Let's see, they're all looking at their wristband. There goes Middleton back to his normal spot.
Well, they're just going to move it around a little bit.
Yeah.
And Browning now with 3 receivers to the right.
A lot of moving around.
8 on the play clock. 1 receiver to the left. And now they got a guy in motion. 1 back in the backfield. Shotgun formation. Handoff Middleton. Ian looking, trying to find a hole, and he can't. Tries to go right side over right tackle, and he's snowed under by the Centennial defense wearing all white with their silver helmets.
I got to laugh because we had all that window dressing out here of these receivers trying to get adjusted. They turn around and the ball off into the A gap on the right side, and it's kind of funny.
They're worse than basketball coaches with their dummy calls.
Yeah, I know it.
The guy sitting next to me is one of them. Not a dummy, just the dummy calls. I'm not, Coach Fontana, I got a lot of respect for him as he enjoys retirement. Who got him the seat? He's the visitor. What the heck? And now Nahas gets sacked in the backfield. Great penetration and a great job by the Jags as they get in there. Nolan Bennett, the safety, crashes in and sacks Nahas.
Little safety blitz, and he comes off the edge and untouched, and Nahas doesn't have a chance and goes right down. Great play by the Jags defense as they make it happen for them and force Dowling to punt the football.
6-yard loss will bring up 4th and 8, and Dowling will bring in their punting unit led by Henry Schmidt, the sophomore, averaging 38 yards a punt this year. McLaughlin, the long snapper, and Dowling has two gunners on the right side, and now Schmidt looks and now punts it away high. End over end kick, angling near side, and it is caught. No fair catch right at the 10-yard line. Great job by Centennial. And what a return that was by Garrett Stevens on punt return, the 5'9", 175-pound senior. Also is a starting safety, and got a 3-yard return out of it up to the 10-yard line. That's where the Jags will start 1st and 10. With 6:51 remaining here in the second quarter, Dowling 3, Dowling 7, and Ankeny Centennial 3. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that's where our Jenny Farrell sideline reporter is. That's Brian Morris.
Yeah, guys, 3rd and 3. I think if that would have been maybe an incomplete pass, I think you would have saw Dowling go for it. But Nolan Bennett, number 12 for Ankeny Centennial, he came off the blitz. Nobody touched him, and he took Nahas down. So 4th and 8, it was just too many yards, I heard the coach's staff was saying.
Absolutely. Morgan in motion. Now they toss it to him right side, runs into his own lineman, and finally wrestled down by the rest of the Dowling team, and he'll move the ball back from his own 10-yard line back to the 8, a 2-yard loss. And Coach is not getting a whole lot of production out of those toss plays.
No,
Coach.
that toss play when Morgan's coming at you, I think Bobo is saying if he's coming in motion towards me, I'm just firing off the edge right at him, because right there Bobo went back there and hit him 3 yards deep right away. It didn't make the tackle, but allowed the defense to rally and still get the 2-yard sack.
Game clock running, 6:15 here in the second quarter. 7-3 Dowling over Ankeny Centennial. Top 12 matchup. Centennial comes in ranked 12th. Top 16 go to the playoffs. Dowling ranked second. Back to throw is Miller. Rolls out of the end zone, avoids a tackle, and finally goes out of bounds. And may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. So it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Jags.
That was Bobo again in pursuit and just got away. Miller was able to escape him and save the yardage and gain a couple yards back after he got flushed out of the pocket to the right side.
Going to give him a gain of 3 for Brecken Miller, the 6'1", 185-pound sophomore quarterback. Thrown for over 800 yards this season, 4 interceptions, and 11 touchdowns in his inaugural season. Back to throw Miller again, rolls to his right, fires it out, and pass is caught, tripped up nicely in the backfield, and a short gain, and that was Joel Sanko. And right at the 14-yard line, that was a little screen pass that Joel read real well.
Again, and Carlos Blount was coming on the blitz, and Miller was able to just get rid of it. He made a heck of an athletic play to get rid of the football, but the screen was set up, and Joel Sanko again read it and made the play.
4-yard gain on the reception, so it's 4th and 5 for the Jags, and they're going to punt from their own goal line as Austin McIntyre, who averages 39 yards a punt, gets the punt away. High kick. Sam Drexler at his own 39. Return is right. Gets a block at the 50. Still on his feet. 40. On his feet. 20. 10. A flag down back at the 45-yard line. Drexler goes in for the touchdown, and the Maroons are going to be guilty of a backside block.
Well, he had his head in front. That's what the coaching staff's going to say, too. I mean, he had his head in front. But I think they're just going to call it the blindside block.
Right.
No, I mean, he got his head and shoulders in front of him. He set him up, and, you teach the kid, you got to be able to see the numbers. He saw the numbers, made the block, and, it was such a violent play.
And it was 2 penalty flags on the play.
Well, there's 3 of them down.
And so they all saw. We'll see if we can pick it up here on the official's mic.
Personal foul. Blindside block.
Yeah.
So blindside block is the official call. And here's a replay here, Matt.
He didn't get a chance to get turned around, and he was in front, and that, I ain't going to kid you, Mark. 15 years ago, 10 years ago, we'd have been cheering that one on. That was, it's a violent play, and there's a reason why they do penalize that, because it is one of those plays that can sneak up on a person and get kids hurt.
Absolutely. So. Nonetheless, Dowling penalized back to the 29. They'll start their handoff Middleton, and he gets up to the 31, gain of 2 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Let's go down to Brian Morris for our Jenny Farrell sideline report. Brian?
Yeah, that happened right in front of me, guys, and I agree. It was 10 years ago. It was a great football play, but I can see nowadays they just don't want the kids to get hurt. But great, it was a great play by the blocker.
Yep, that negated a touchdown because Sammy had the corner return. Handoff goes to Middleton again, breaks a tackle at the 40 and finally run out of bounds at the 41. He'll pick up 10 yards and a 1st down for Dowling.
Good run there by Middleton as this offensive line is starting to establish its front. The control of the line, and Middleton is getting 5-6 yards a pop right now, and he is really starting to get into a rhythm.
Maybe Ian Middleton liked that penalty because he's going to pad his rushing yards because he wouldn't have had the football in this drive because Drexler scored. So it's 1st and 10 Dowling from their own 41. Middleton again over the right side, and he drags tacklers up to the 47-yard line. He'll pick up 6. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
And if you're watching this game on CISN, and you can see why Dowling's running the football right now, they're only putting 6 guys in the box, and that means there's 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers inside that what we would call that box around the offensive line, defensive line, because they're so worried about the pass, and then that makes room for Middleton.
Yeah, it's called Roberts and and Drexler and Nahas and company. And here is Nahas keeping the football. The other Nahas, Joey, the quarterback.
Yeah.
And he runs across midfield down to the Centennial 48 yard line.
He ran that ball and just sat down at the first down marker.
I saw that.
It was a little awkward.
Well,
and
that's Coach McLean and Coach Meeks, the running back and quarterbacks coach. So he's learning from somebody.
Yeah.
Gain of 5 for Nahas.
Coach Wilson's seen enough for a second. He needs a timeout.
He's going to call it. We'll take it with him. 3:37 remaining here in the second quarter. High school football, week number 8, Dowling Catholic 7, Ankeny Centennial 3. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat and Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat and Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homeacres on Douglas Avenue.
All right, we're back here at Valley Stadium out of the Dowling timeout on 1st and 10. Ian Middleton gets the handoff and gets a short gain down to the 47-yard line for a gain of 1. It'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Maroons as clock approaching the 3-minute mark. And Dowling leading 7-3 over Ankeny Centennial. Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring and Brian Morris tonight. Bonnie Bronson will join us at halftime. Talk pancake breakfast a week from this Sunday as Dowling hosts the pancake breakfast. Back to throw is Joey Nahas. Looks left, throws left, fires it out, and it's caught. Nice catch by Roberts. Out of bounds. He's got the first down at the Centennial 36.
I believe on that play, that's a read, for Roberts. He's either taken off and running a vertical route to the end zone, but if the corner is playing soft on him, then he turns it back and comes just beyond the sticks. And that's what Nahas was waiting for, and then got him the football.
So it's a first down, 11-yard gain for Jeffrey Roberts as Joey Nahas found his receiver at the 37 of Centennial. Handoff goes to Middleton, bounces outside, gets outside the numbers, and finally tripped up, and he falls right on the 3 at the 30-yard line, the 3 of the 30, and that'll be right at the 31-yard line, gain of 6.
Good job of Ian Middleton bouncing that thing outside. The Centennial defense had stuffed it up the middle, and he just kind of picked his way across the line of scrimmage, went to the boundary, to the near boundary, and picked up a nice gain on first down.
Haven't seen Dowling go tempo yet first half.
No.
Maybe that's to give the defense a chance to catch their breath.
Yeah.
2nd and 4, Dowling from the Centennial 31. Here's the snap. Hand off to Middleton. Right up the gut he goes. He had a quick opener, but then he's finally sealed off nicely by Centennial. Picks up the first down at the 26-yard line. Gain of 5 once again.
He picked up first down, and there were 2 guys out there that could have got to him, and he saw his one blocker going to the one defender and made the cut toward him, but just couldn't escape the other one.
This will be the 7th play of the Dowling drive, which started at their own 29-yard line. And once again, a handoff goes to Middleton. Loses his helmet, and he may have to come out for a play.
Yeah, he got his helmet kind of came off his head, and now he's going to come out for one. I'm assuming we'll see.
Gets it all the way down the 18-yard line for a gain of 8. Go ahead.
Pennington's been the one coming in for him, and this one looks like Oldfield's coming in, so they're going just with an extra. Oh, yeah. Pennington's in there.
So Grayson Pennington, 5'10", 175-pound sophomore. He's got a pair of touchdowns this year. And Maroons will work out of the pistol. 2nd and 2 from the 18. Handoff Pennington, left side, turns the corner. Hit and drop right at the line of scrimmage. Tried to cut it upfield, and boy, linebacker came in and did a nice job of sealing him off and taking him down, and that was Max Schmitz, Rowan Doak, the linebacker, that made the stop.
You're right, Mark. That was a great play by that linebacker to get that stop and create a third down, because that looked like he was going for a first down there. And now we've got 3rd and 2. And the clock's ticking down now. You know, Dowling's trying to consume the rest of the half. Minute 13 left.
Yeah, they're in no hurry. They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Centennial with 2. Middleton back in, and he's tripped up as he falls forward. Got the first down. Goes from the Centennial 18 down to the 11-yard line. And Dowling now in the Iowa Wealth Management red zone. Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth. Learn more at iowawealth.com. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 Dowling at the Centennial 11.
At Centennial 11. And Ian, I think that play was supposed to go a little bit wider, but he in that inside zone, he saw the cut lane and took it for the big gain.
2 receivers right, tight end on the left, handoff Middleton, trying to find a gap, can't. Drugged down from behind nicely that time by the Jags. And let's see who that was at the bottom of the pile.
Looks like number 1.
That would be
Nash
Taggart.
Taggart.
The linebacker got him, and a timeout called. So we'll take one with them. 28 seconds remaining in the first half. 7-3 Dowling over Ankeny Centennial. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Mayhouse on the quarterback keeper, tackled up by number 1, Nash Taggart. Timeout, Dowling. That is their final timeout.
We're at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Final seconds of the first half. Dowling calls another timeout after Nahas kept the ball while we were away at break and runs it for 4 yards down to the Centennial 7. So it's 3rd and 6 for Dowling. Maroons can get a first down inside the 1 alongside Matt Mandring. I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report with Brian.
Yeah, guys, Dowling has really controlled this second half, like almost how Ankeny controlled the ball, but Dowling here has run the ball a lot in this second half. They tried to do a pass on that last play where Nahas had to scramble away, but it just at this side of the field, there's just not a lot of room for the receivers maybe to get spacing.
Yeah, and Dowling now with 2 receivers to the left as the Maroons continue the Iowa Wealth Management red zone. IowaWealth.com. So now they'll bring out Drexler to the right and 2 receivers to the left. Back to throw Nahas on 3rd and 6. Fires it and throws it away incomplete. Close receiver was Middleton out of the backfield. And the Jags had that well read, and Dowling's going to settle for the field goal. So, Matt, this will be the 12th play of the Dowling drive that will end up in a field goal attempt. This drive that started at their own 29, so they're going to settle for the field goal from 24 yards out, it looks like, here with Ryan Kuhn.
Yeah, you know, Coach going to be a little frustrated going into halftime and settling for just a field goal here. For as much as they were moving the football there, they ran into the wall. The defense tightened up for the Jags there when they had to at the end of the drive.
All right, McConville to hold. Kuhn from the right hash, kicking left to right. Ball down, kick high enough. And it is good. So the Maroons extend their lead to 10-3 over Ankeny Centennial with 9 seconds remaining here in the first half from Valley Stadium on Dowling Senior Night. We'll return after this 1-minute break. Dowling 10, Ankeny Centennial 3 on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
Number 14, Ryan Kuhn to kick off. Miller and Good back deep for the Jaguars.
All right, back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Dowling Catholic Senior Night kickoff, and a short kick fielded by Centennial, and they get it to the 31-yard line, and that might be, I said this before, maybe the final play.
You said it with 20 seconds in the first quarter. I think you're a little bit safer here.
3 seconds remaining, and Centennial will have the ball at their own 31-yard line. Dowling leading 10-3. Let's go down to Brian Morris. Brian, you're going to interview Coach Wilson. I can't wait to hear this.
It looks like Ankeny's just going to kneel on the ball, guys, and go in the halftime just to score down.
Yeah, just score down. We got scores coming up at halftime, some of the key games around here, including the Waukee matchup, the Battle of Waukee, and you were right. And Brian will give you a chance to get with Coach Wilson. So we've come to halftime, and Dowling leads it 10-3 over Ankeny Centennial. And these two have had some great games here in the last several years. Let's go down to Brian Morris with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling.
Coach, 2 big plays called back, unfortunately, by penalties. But in the second quarter, it looked like the offensive line got going and Middleton got going.
They did. You know, honestly, we have hurt ourselves. Those penalties are entirely our fault, and we got to clean that stuff up. It's a tough ball game like we thought it would be.
Defensive side of the ball, the defense, it took a little bit to get used to that option. But, again, tough defense the rest of the half.
Well, we're going to have to keep it up. They've had some guys open. We got the turnover. Zero's a handful, so we'll have to stay on him all night.
All right, Coach, good luck.
All right, Brian Morris with head coach Tom Wilson on our Jenny Farrell sideline report. The Jenny Farrell team has been helping generations of Dowling Catholic families with their real estate investments for almost 30 years. Learn more at jenniferfarrell.remax.com. Alongside Matt Mandring and Brian Morris, who's down on the Dowling sideline, Mark Hamadale. Before we go to break, Matt, let's take a look at what do you got, scores or Mr. Seifrick with the stats?
I got no stats yet, but the score is tied up at halftime. Waukee Northwest 21 and Waukee 21. So they got a barn burner over there in the Battle of Waukee.
Yeah, sounds like it. And
the last score I saw at Valley and Ankeny was 13-7, and that was a while ago.
Well, it's Ankeny 20, Valley 13 in the second quarter is the last report I just pulled up.
Right.
Northwest, and as you mentioned, Waukee in the third quarter tied at 21. We got different scores going on because our game started late here in West Des Moines due to the weather that came in with rain and lightning, and the others may have started on time. Just kind of Southeast Polk leading Johnston 7-0 in the second quarter at last report, and we're trying to find another one. Norwalk leading Urbandale in the first quarter. They were really delayed. First quarter score, Norwalk 6, Urbandale 0, and that game is at Urbandale. And Matt, I'll let you take it with our first half stats before we go to our 2-minute break.
All right, and in the stats column here, I'm assuming, Mark, we are on the left here.
Yes, we were last week.
Yep, we're on the left. And that's right. Okay. Dowling, 12 first downs, 22 rushes for 103 yards for a 4.7 yard average. Joey Nahas was 5 of 8 with 1 interception, 68 yards through the air, so a total of 171 yards of offense. We had the 1 turnover. Third down conversions were 2 of 4. For Ankeny, they had 11 first downs, 13 rushes for only 22 yards. When's the last time you heard that from a Centennial offense? Only 22 yards rushing. They were 7 of 13 passing, and they had 73 yards through the air for a total of 95 yards of offense.
And Ian Middleton on the ground for Dowling, 19 carries, 98 yards in the first half. Quarterback Joey Nahas, 3 carries for 11 yards. And leading receiver Jeffrey Roberts, 4 catches for 53 yards, but he had a touchdown called back, and so did Sam Drexler on a punt return. So that's a look at some of the numbers. We're going to take a 2-minute break along our network lines. Here at halftime, it's Dowling 10, Ankeny Centennial 3, alongside Matt Mandring. I'm Mark Hamadale, alongside Brian Morris, who's on the sideline. Coming up, we'll talk pancake breakfast. The Dowling pancake breakfast coming up a week from this Sunday. Bonnie Bronson will join us. But first, a break from our network sponsors on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
Joe here with Westside Auto Pros. I know that sometimes your car can be inconsiderate and need work when you're short on cash. So here's what I'll do. When you get your car fixed at Westside Auto Pros, I'll loan you the money to pay for it. Whatever you want done, repairs, services, tires, you name it. Get your car back on the road and you won't even pay any interest for 90 days. My wife thinks I'm nuts.
No interest, Joe? Are you nuts?
Get your car fixed now and pay later only at Westside Auto Pros. You don't suppose she's right?
Employee Pricing Plus at DeArmond Automotive, Knoxville. 2025 Ram 1500s with up to $15,000 off. Incredible offers on the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee with up to $9,000 off. And new Jeep Wranglers with up to $8,500 off. And save on a new Chevy Silverado 1500 with over $12,000 off. Employee Pricing Plus. Save big now at DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville, Iowa.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homemakers on Douglas Avenue.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Sorry about the delay. I told you to be up here an hour ago, and here we are.
Here we are.
A little weather delay on a football Friday night, but appreciate you making the time and talking a big event for the Dowling community, and others are invited too. The Dowling Pancake Breakfast. That's awesome.
Yes, everybody's welcome. This event has been going on for a very long time. It's ingrained in the history of Dowling Catholic, and this year we'll be celebrating the 64th year of flipping pancakes. We'll be out at the Varied Industries building again this year next Sunday, October 26th. We'll be flipping pancakes from 8 until noon.
Yeah, and Iowa State Fairgrounds has been the home, and it's been a great venue and on that Sunday morning. But the funds that you raise through the pancake breakfast at Dowling, what do they go to, and how are they utilized?
Sure. This event supports our student clubs and activities. Over 90% of our students participate in a club or extracurricular activity, and this event supports all of them, whether that's a new club that they want to form. I think this year one of the new ones is the ping pong club, which is kind of fun. But when you start a new club, you need supplies, so our funds help support those types of things. And for existing clubs, they also have the opportunity to apply for these funds so that they can do activities and service projects that they may not have the funds for.
There's a lot of help behind the scenes. But the question everybody asks, how many pancakes do you serve, make and serve on a Dowling pancake breakfast, which goes all the way back, like you said, 64 years. There's a lot of pancakes made.
A lot of pancakes. Every year we make about 5,000 pancakes. And we're making them by hand on our own griddles that we take out there every year. It takes a lot of volunteers who are extremely grateful for. I think we have over 500 volunteers again this year. And a lot of support from some of the folks out at the fairgrounds. Cable's Concessions are some of the folks. They're Dowling alum, and they help us in the kitchen with some of their commercial mixers and those types of things too. So it's a very big operation. It takes a lot of work and a lot of volunteers.
Well, for folks wanting to go, how can they purchase tickets to this event? And every year it gets bigger and better, but having tickets ahead of time helps.
It does help. Tickets are online. You can go to the Dowling Catholic website, just click on the events tab and it'll take you right to the ticket link. They're electronic, so tickets would be emailed to you, and then we'll be scanning QR codes at the door. So you can also purchase them when you get to the door. It is just a little bit of a time saver if you have them ahead of time, so we can just scan your QR code when you get there.
And of course, children under 3, my granddaughters apply, under 3 are free.
They sure are. Grab the family.
Yeah, and again, this is Sunday, October 28th at the Varied Industries Building on the campus of the Iowa State Fairgrounds. 7:30 in the morning until noon is when they serve. And what else can you mention about the pancake breakfast, Bonnie Bronson? Because you've got a great committee. I know the folks at Dowling kind of head it, but you've got some great people that help you behind the scenes. But what do you want the public to know?
Well, other than just fabulous, yummy pancakes, there's a lot of things that you can do when you come to the pancake breakfast. The campus store will be there for all of your fall apparel needs. There's a bake sale with yummy homemade treats and holiday goodies. We have a stage set up. The band and the choir come out, and they're scheduled to do performances throughout the morning, along with the Sacred Heart Band, who's also invited to come to this event every year. We also have, we're bringing back a cakewalk this year, which is scheduled to happen a few times throughout the morning, where you have a chance to win fun, yummy treats from the bake sale. Balloon creations for little kids and big kids alike. There'll be a photo booth, and of course our clubs and activities. Students will be there to share information about their clubs and some of the service projects that they do in ways they give back to our community.
And of course, will some of the, well, let's put it this way. The coach that just won the recent state championship, Ron Gray, will he have the trophy there? Will he have his boys golf team? Because they are 2025 state champs as of a couple days ago.
They are, Ron. Coach Gray is going to be flipping pancakes for us right along with Mr. Amadeo here. So come out for that, of course. The boys golf club is scheduled to be there, so I do hope they have a chance to bring the trophy.
Absolutely.
We'll have our boys and girls basketball teams there. The volleyball team will be there. And a lot of our football players are kind of undercover during the pancake breakfast, but a lot of them volunteer as well. So come on out and see us and enjoy all the fun things we have planned.
Yeah, and again, that's the Dowling Catholic Pancake Breakfast going on the last Sunday in October, October 26th, and from 7:30 to noon at the Varied Industries Building on the campus of the Iowa State Fairgrounds. And how can we support the pancake breakfast? Because it's for everyone. It's the Dowling community is kind of a homecoming, but others can come and may come. And we invite others that may not send their kid or participate in activities at Dowling, but everybody's invited, right, Bonnie?
Absolutely. Everybody's welcome. Please come join us. You can purchase tickets. Come on out. Grab your family and friends. If your baking is your niche, we're always looking for homemade baked goods for the bake sale, and those can be dropped off on Friday, either at the school or out at the Varied Industries Building, and there's more information about that on our website. And of course, we're always looking for donations. So if you're interested in supporting our student clubs and activities, we welcome those as well.
Yeah, you know, a lot of extracurricular activities that are supported through the pancake breakfast because, you know, Dowling being a private school, you got to support it all, and it's the folks that are around. Now, some of us no longer have kids, or will no longer have kids at Dowling. My daughter graduates this year, but for us alumni like myself, we want to support the future Dowling students, whether they be your grandkids or whatever, and that's what we want to do, and hopefully that'll happen.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of exciting things at Dowling and a lot of things coming up in the years to come. This event welcomes back a lot of alumni, just like yourself, and everybody's welcome. We look forward to seeing everybody. It's a wonderful community event, and we hope you all can come.
Now, I suppose since Ron Gray won the state golf, he's going to have the better spatula than what I'm going to be issued and an apron, so he's going to I'll have to stay way away from Ron.
Yeah, we'll have to put you on different lines.
Yes, please do. Put me on the back line. He can be on the front line, and he can show off his trophy.
We'll plan for that.
That is awesome. Well, Bonnie, we cover everything. What do you want our audience on CISN and Iowa Catholic Radio to know?
I want to do a special shout out to all of our sponsors and all of our volunteers. Again, this event would not be possible without all of you, and we are very grateful for the time and generosity that you give to support Dowling Catholic and our students.
Now, I noticed you were looking for future co-chairs for next year. You're already advertising because Nick and Jill Ryan are going to be done, it sounds like, and you're looking for some new co-chairs for next year, 2026.
Yes, it's actually Paul and Jen Jen DMG, who are current parents and are graduating the last of their daughters this year. They're stepping down from their co-chair role for the pancake breakfast, so we have some new people who have volunteered to come on board who will be shadowing them this year and ready to take the reins next year. And we'll have a couple more positions opening up next year. So if it's something you're interested in, if you're interested in giving back in a little bit more of a leadership role with the pancake breakfast, please reach out. I'd love to have you and we'd welcome you to the team.
Absolutely. Again, Sunday, October 26th, Varied Industries building on the campus of the Iowa State Fairgrounds, 7:30 until noon. Get your tickets online, dowlingcatholic.org. Bonnie Bronson, thanks for all you do. Thanks for coming out on this wet Friday night on senior night.
It's a fun football game to watch, and I'm glad I could be here. Thank you for having me.
You bet, Bonnie. Bonnie Bronson joined us here at halftime. We're going to take a 1-minute break and come back along our network stations. Dowling 10 and Ankeny Centennial 3. We're at halftime here at Valley Stadium on Dowling Senior Night on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
Iowans are working hard, but high prices make it even harder to keep food on the table. Record numbers need help. Your neighbors, your friends, your community. Stopping hunger starts here.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade. With the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
Yep,
you mentioned great guy. I just talked to him this week.
Valley and Ankeny tied at 20. Southeast Polk leading Johnston 7-0. No, it's now tied at 7. And Waukee and Waukees are all tied at 21. Up. So I'll let you take it.
Yeah, that's what I got too. And I know that trying to figure out which app to follow and trying to keep all these games while you're trying to go live. And I think that's where I'm at too. I just want to give a shout out to the band. They've had a great season, and they wrap up their season tomorrow. With their state competition in the afternoon at Waukee. I think it's around 1 or 1:30. We'll go over there and get to watch them do that. And then they finish with the performance tomorrow night and wrap their season up. But Mr. Holland and Mr. Hoover do an outstanding job with that group all year long.
Got a special shout out. It's a birthday girl tonight, and I was wondering why he wasn't at the game. Mr. John Chido, who has been known to hang out here once in a while. He is taking his daughter Sophie, and he and his wife Kristen are out with the celebrating Sophie's birthday tonight, and she has been recently engaged, and best of luck to her and her engagement to Mr. Ruprecht, and give her a shout out. Happy birthday, Sophie Chido. And we just got another quick score that came across.
Yeah, I believe that Waukee went up now 28-21, and
over Northwest.
I wonder how much time is left in that game. They've got to be deeper into the third quarter if they started on time. And
some games started on time and some didn't.
Right.
Ours did not. And I was looking here through, because we got a few minutes before the second half. Teams just got out on the field, so they're going to have like their 33-minute warm-up. And I thought I saw where there was, here we go. There was, no, these are just a list. I thought Ricer at TV8 had some halftime scores, but I tell you what, Matt, there's some great games and playoff implications indeed, because you got to finish in the top 16 when it comes down to a week from tonight.
Right, If I'm right, Mark, the 4As on down, they find out their playoff pairings tomorrow morning. Am I right with that? The 4As on down.
I don't think it's 4A, but
the 3A on down.
Well, the rest of them that are the smaller schools end their season tonight. They only play an 8-game regular season. If they don't make the playoffs, they can get a 9th game. They can arrange a 9th game. That's kind of how they work it.
Yeah, right.
7 minutes left in the third quarter. Waukee leading Waukee Northwest 28-21. Thank you, Steve Smith. And Miss Smitty on game night, boy, he gets that locker room fired up, and the special teams, he's all over that.
He's fired up wherever he goes.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I ran into him the other day in school.
Well, pancake breakfast, we're trying to pray, and Steve, he's all wound up, and that's awesome. But and our thanks to Bonnie Bronson for coming up here. But as you see on your screen, if you're watching our simulcast tonight with CISN and Iowa Catholic Radio, Dowling Catholic leading 10-3. Well, we're going to take a 1-minute break along our network lines, 1 minute, and we'll come back with a second half kickoff alongside Matt Mandring and Brian Morris, who's on the sidelines tonight. I'm Mark Amadale. Halftime, Dowling leading Ankeny Centennial 10-3 on Dowling Senior Night on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN. Here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, and Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline tonight. A lot of scores going on. And, of course, our CISN crew of Aaron Bandy, our director here, along with Sam Nord, our photographer, doing the folks for the live stream on CISN, and back at the Iowa Catholic Radio Studios, Vinny Cataldo and John Nielsen. Appreciate those guys hanging tight tonight on a wet night. We got started about a half hour late due to the weather that moved in. I'm not sure if Brian is with us. Brian Morris, come on in. Did you peek inside halftime at the locker room at Dowling or not?
I did not, man. I put on a sweatshirt, first time all year.
Wow.
You have to check it out when you see me later.
Oh, is that the Willie Farrell? Oh, I'm sorry, the Jenny Farrell team sweatshirt.
Absolutely.
That Willie was donning today in one of your little Facebook posts that I got wind of.
Yeah, well, it's getting a little chilly down here, and I got a little cold. I got a little Matt cold. I'm working through it. I'm playing through it.
Played through it.
You don't sound as bad as he did last Friday night.
No, I sound a little bit better.
We can at least understand him.
I know it. I tell you,
he scared.
It was a quiet weekend in our house.
He scared 2 athletes and a head coach with his post game last week.
It was probably your wife's favorite weekend of the fall.
It probably was.
That's about right. That's awesome. All right, well, just about ready to kick off here in the second half. Dowling will have the ball first. They will go left to right, north to south. Matt, what do you think for adjustments here in this 10-3 contest, Dowling leading Centennial?
It's a great question. They defensively they can't do much better against the run. To hold Ankeny to that few yards in the first half is amazing. I think offensively they just had so many opportunities. It's trying to play an error-free, knock off the penalties. There should be at least 2 more touchdowns on the board. And I think that's what they probably talked about at halftime.
All right, short kick by Manning, picked up by Dowling, one of the upbacks. And again, that is, I believe, Leighton Oldfield on the reception. And he carries it across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. That's where the Dowling offense will start. 1st and 10. Runs.
Yes, Perry on the stop, number 13.
We'll have quarterback Joey Nahas, Ian Middleton in the backfield, Sammy Drexler, Jeffrey Roberts, Jimmy Nahas, the receivers, Quinn Smolback, the H-back, Carter Barrett, Cade Krause, Owen Marr, Evan Mitchell, and Max Thomas on defense. For Centennial, their defense, Kane Brooks, Houston Luce, Tysher Zeller, and Cade Muring, the defensive line. Nash Taggart, Will Morris, Rowan Doak, the linebackers. Brody Prill, Gavin Matheny. And now here's a quick pass, caught as Nahas throws the right side. Nice catch that time by the Maroons. That's Quinn Smolback with the reception. Be shy of the first down. Continue the defense for Ankeny. We mentioned Gavin Matheny along with Garrett Stevens and Nolan Bennett and Brody Prill, the four defensive backs for the Jags.
And the challenge for Ankeny is they're trying to dedicate, split. Do we dedicate enough people to the receivers? Do we try to stop the run? And
there's a quick pass to the left side, incomplete, as that was a dangerous pass as they tried to get Roberts involved, and that was closer than we thought.
Yeah, that was one of those. Joey tonight has thrown a couple passes into traffic that he's trusted his arm so much, and he can fit it into some small gaps. So the Ankeny Centennial defense is rallying to those, and a little dangerous, living a little dangerous.
All right, it'll bring up 3rd and 3 Dowling from the Maroon 40. Back to throw is Nahas. Looks left, throws left, fires it out, and he overthrew his intended receiver, Jeffrey Roberts, right at midfield. Incomplete. The closest Centennial defensive back was Nolan Bennett, but he airballed that one. Will bring up 4th and 3 for Dowling and the punting unit coming in.
Yeah, and he was a little bit challenged in the backfield there. A little bit of a rush, but he just airmailed that one, and he let it rip and a little too high, and now they have to go back and punt and leave themselves out on their first drive. Well, we were man short on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I think they were a guy short.
Dowling's got to burn a timeout, so we'll take it with them. 11:18 to go here in the third quarter. Dowling 10, Ankeny Centennial 3. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Employee pricing plus extra DeArmond discounts at DeArmond Ford. New 2024 F-150s with over $20,000 off. Get a new Ford Bronco with $9,000 off plus 3.9% for 72 months. New Bronco Sports on sale for $37,990 plus 3.9% for 72 months. And new Super Duties with $10,000 off. Extra discounts on top of employee pricing. Only at DeArmond Ford, Indianola.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
All right, we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morrison, Dowling sideline. Punt by Dowling, and Henry Schmid kicks it down to the 26-yard line, goes out of bounds. Centennial will have the ball first. Their first possession of the third quarter. Dowling 10, Centennial 3. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report with Brian Morris. Brian?
Yeah, I was right there by where Jeffrey Roberts was. That ball was about 5 feet over his head. Yeah, Nahas just got a little bit, didn't get his foot planted.
So it'll be Centennial football, and they hand it off. Right up the gut they go, and that looks like it was either Good or Schmidt.
That was Morgan again.
And it was Morgan, yeah. So they've been utilizing Morgan with Good. And he goes like shot out of a cannon across the 30 up to the 32, gain of 6.
That was the first time in a while we've been able to see him accelerate through the line of scrimmage, and he did. He was explosive through there, through the right side, over the right side of Kane Brooks and Asher McGonnell by Senator Carter Shuddy as well.
All right, 2nd and 4, Centennial, and quarterback Reckon Miller fakes the handoff, now runs towards the sideline. He runs out of real estate. The pass is it incomplete?
They're going to call grounding.
Yeah, it's incomplete and a penalty flag down, and it would be intentional grounding. The ball didn't go past the line of scrimmage.
No, he threw it right in the ground. I mean, it was obvious. There was a defender close by, an offensive guy close by. He just chucked it in the dirt.
Our officials tonight, our referees.
Yeah, and that's what the Ankeny sideline is arguing. There's a defender or an offensive player right there, but
I think it's all going to come back. We'll pick up. So intentional grounding, the call. The referee you heard is Scott Brown. Philip Bothman is the umpire. Jim Wilson, Alan Dries, and Kurt Renaud are the officiating crew tonight, doing a great job and keeping everything fair and square to move the ball back to the 22. So ball back to a 10-yard loss on the play.
And it's a loss of downs. And so he was getting pursued out of bounds. They ran a little, they were doing a little bootleg action, and the defender was covered, and the quarterback didn't have anywhere to go, so he just threw it in the dirt. But now it's 3rd and 14.
So here is Miller back to throw, looks right, throws right, and the pass is incomplete. I'll tell you what, he climbed the ladder, did the receiver, and tried to high point it, but it's incomplete. Great job that time, and great effort by Cameron Miners, our leading receiver for Centennial, but it's incomplete and be 4th down, and the punting unit coming on for Centennial. So both teams on offense first, each have to punt.
Yeah, 3 and out on both sides, and great play there by the Dowling defense on the pass rush and the coverage back there. But Miners really did climb the ladder and just couldn't quite come down with it.
So Austin Meyer into punt, averaging 39 yards coming into tonight's game. Good snap from Russellberg and gets it away. And here's Drexler with a rare fair catch at the 43-yard line. So that's where Dowling will have it 1st and 10. And I say rare because Sandy likes to make it exciting.
Yes.
Let's go down to the Dowling sideline, and that is where our Jenny Farrell team sideline reporter Brian Morris is. It's jenniferfarrell.remax.com. Brian, take it away.
Guys, if you take a peek at the 10-yard line, there's a little teeny cloud that kind of hit the field right during that possession there, and it's just kind of an eerie, it's almost Halloween-y down here.
Halloween-y.
Halloween-y. That's a great one, Brian. I've got to use that.
I think that's kind of like it's Sasquatch, what do they call it? Squatchy.
Mayhouse on 1st down. Airs it out, looking downfield for Roberts, and it is a back shoulder catch by Jeffrey Roberts.
Amazing.
Unbelievable. Inside the 20.
That is amazing.
And it's going to be a 1st down. Dowling officials get together to make sure. Did we really see that?
Let's watch this on replay. And the ball is underthrown, and Roberts goes up and battles the Ankeny defender on that play. Nolan Bennett was in coverage, great coverage, and Roberts takes it away from him.
I think it bounced off of Bennett a little bit on the way down. So 1st down Dowling at the Centennial 18-yard line. The Maroons in the Iowa Wealth Management Red Zone, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients and protect their wealth, grow and protect their wealth. Learn more at iowawealth.com. Here's the snap. Hand off Middleton, right side. He's got a hole. Bounces outside 15, and he's going to go in for the touch. What a block! Below here by Sammy Drexler. A kicked out block on Nash Taggart propels Middleton to score from 18 yards.
That's receiver blocking right there. And Ian Middleton, I mean, they had a wave of Maroons. He stiff arms one guy, but you watch Sammy Drexler. He's driving that guy back 20 yards behind the play.
2 plays on the drive as the Maroons now will attempt the extra point. The holder is McConville, Owen McConville. And the long snapper for Dowling is Jack McLaughlin. Ryan Kuhn in for the extra point. Dowling 16 and Centennial 3, and the extra point makes it 17-3 Dowling with 9:31 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dowling 17, Centennial 3. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
Touchdown fairway.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand, custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
All right, here's a kickoff by Ryan Kuhn. It's going to go into the end zone, touchback. And it'll be 1st and 10 Centennial on their own 20-yard line. Dowling 17, Ankeny Centennial 3. Maroons going on a 2-play drive, capped off by Ian Middleton's 18-yard run. But Brian Morris, it was the 46-yard reception by Jeffrey Roberts. And he used the Centennial defender, Nolan Bennett, to catch that pass from Joey Nahas.
Yeah, Nolan Bennett couldn't have had better coverage, to be honest, guys. That was just two guys going up, and the Jeffrey Roberts came our way with the ball, and that really sparked this offense. And, again, Dowling wanted to come out and establish something. That first drive didn't go like they wanted, but, again, the momentum has shifted back.
It certainly has. And on 1st and 10 for Centennial, they moved the ball from their 20 up to the 21-yard line to give a gain of 1 to J.J. Morgan. Dowling going 2 plays and 64 yards on that very quick drive, Matt.
Very quick drive. And through 7 games, Brecken Miller's only attempted 88 passes. That kind of gives you an idea of how often Centennial likes to throw the ball. So that's just over 10 attempts a game, and I think they're over that already tonight. And they just can't run the ball.
All right, Miller back to throw, looking, has time, and now he's breaks the tackle in the backfield, still on his feet, and he's hit as he throws it, and the pass is incomplete. Dowling defender there nearly had it, and that was a nice job by the Maroons with pressure all over the place. But Jordan Watson nearly came up with it. But I think, Matt, and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought Brady Hagan almost got to the quarterback.
Brady Hagan, and he's a wrestler. You'd have thought he'd have wrapped him up right there. I think he thought he had to go up and block the pass, so he didn't get his arms down. He had his arms up and just ran into him and didn't take him down. He bounces out, and then Ian Middleton just about gets him at the end, and Miller finally is able to get it away.
It was like ping pong. It deflected off of Hagan, and the quarterback threw it, but dangerous pass. So it brings up 3rd and 9 Centennial. Dowling leading 17-3, 8:45 remaining, third quarter. 3rd and 9 Centennial from their own 21. Back to throw is Miller, fires it out. Pass is caught, first down. Great catch that time in the open field is Owen Gaspery, and he picks up the first down at the 42 of Centennial, a gain of 21.
Yeah, Miller had enough time there as it was, again, I believe Bobo chasing him down, or getting after him there, but he had Crosser, and the Crosser got it, and Robertson takes him down, but a nice play by Ankeny Centennial.
Certainly was. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Bozen the Florist, Ashworth Vision Clinic, and Construction Professionals. 1st and 10 Centennial, the ball on their own 42-yard line. They got as deep as a Dowling 15 in the first half. Here's a little jet sweep. The handoff goes to Devin Good, turns the corner, and crosses midfield and goes down right at the first down marker, which would be the Dowling 48.
The design of that play is really good. Usually we see Morgan coming in motion, and that time it was Good, and everybody's eyes are on Morgan in the backfield. It's a quick give, inside give to Good as he's going to the edge in a jet sweep, and big pickup on first down for the Centennial.
Give him about 9.5 yards. We'll bring up 2nd and short for Centennial. The ball in the Dowling 48. One receiver left, one to the right. Centennial going right to left, south to north. Back to throw is Miller. Fires a pass over the middle. Incomplete. His receiver didn't turn around. The Dowling safety that time was Coppola, and he nearly came up with the interception as the intended receiver was not turned around, and that was Cade Newman, the tight end.
Yeah, and I think Bonanno was the one back there and made him get rid of it a little bit earlier. Miller wanted to hang on to it just a little bit longer, but Bonanno was there and hit him.
We see the end result, the incomplete pass, but what we don't see is the pressure that causes the quarterback to throw a little bit sooner than he wants to, and that's what some of the Dowling defensive line have done tonight with Bobo, Hagan, Elcock, and Bonanno. All right, 3rd and 1 once again for Centennial, and they'll give a little end around that, and with the football is Good. He's got the first down. Great play design for Coach Pizzetti. Good turns it into a first down at the 38 of Dowling, a gain of 10.
The same play they ran to the right side of the field, they just ran again back this way. When a play works, run it again. And that's what they did there, getting Good in motion, inside handoff to him as he comes across the formation, and they're able to seal off the defense, and he gets to the corner.
So 1st and 10, Centennial. Game clock running under 7 minutes and 10 seconds here in the third quarter. Dowling 17, Ankeny Centennial 3. First down at the Dowling 38. Jags break the huddle. And Brecken Miller will work under center. And he'll put J.J. Morgan in motion left to right, and the give is the inside handoff, little counter play to Good, and he's wrapped up the line of scrimmage at the point of the tackle. We'll lose a yard back to the 39. The Maroon defense had that well read once they tried to open up the trap.
You know, there was so much motion in the backfield, and again, the penetration gummed it up and caused the offense not to have much room to run right there, and just good team defense of everybody staying home that time.
Bobo, Hagan, Elcock, Bonanno, the front four for Dowling, Schumacher, Miller, Blunt, and Joel Sanko, the linebackers, with Watson, Robertson, and Capola. And here's a quick hitter this time for Centennial, and get it down inside the 40, down to the 36-yard line for a gain of 3. So they keep the game balanced, and will bring up 3rd and long, third and about 8.
Yeah, 3rd and long. A little quick hitter right there, and as you said, Mark, but again now it's a 3rd and long, and this is where Ankeny has struggled a little bit. This is not what they like to have. They're used to being able to grind the ball on the ground, get 3rd and short, 2nd and short, and then just be able to play ball control offense.
All right, Cameron Miners split wide to the right to the top of your screen for watching on CISN. One receiver to the left, back to throw is Miller, looks right, throws towards Miner. The ball is nearly picked off, but he overthrew his receiver, incomplete. And nice job of coverage by the Maroons there, as Kyle Schumacher had to throw it over him, and it went out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, Schumacher was able to get a hand on it and then knocked it up in the air, almost to the guy behind, and but they get a 4th and long, and I think Ankeny's going to probably go for it right here.
So 4th and 7 for the Jags at the Dowling 35. 5.5 minutes remaining, third quarter, and yes, they are. They're going for it. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Quarterback Miller, Brecken back to throw. Wants to throw it quick, he does. First down as it's caught at the 20-yard line as he hit the tight end that time on the reception, Owen Gaspery.
He did a good job of hanging on to the football. Maddox Capola come on and laid that lick on him there as he caught it, but a good execution there. Nice ball from Brecken Miller. That's one of his better throws tonight, is he's able to put it right on him on 4th down in that big situation.
So it's first down. That was a big play for Centennial to keep this drive alive. 1st and 10 Jags at the Dowling 20. 15-yard gain that time. Brecken Miller to Owen Gaspery. Here's a snap, 3 receivers left, and now Miller dodges traffic, now wants to run, and he's going to be dragged down from behind at the 20-yard line. Good hustle by the Maroons on the backside there, Matt, as Anthony Bonanno ran him down, and Anthony started his career as a freshman up there at Centennial at one time.
Yeah, Anthony playing with a little fire tonight. He was able to track him down from the backside. He had to come all the way across formation to chase Miller down, and did so to prevent a big play.
That was probably about a 15-yard run, but it was east-west.
Yeah.
Net gain 0. So it's 2nd and 10 Jags. They'll break the huddle with 2 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. Out of the shotgun, Brecken Miller, the sophomore quarterback for the Jaguars, sends Morgan in motion. Here's the snap, and penalty flag down late, and a low throw incomplete right at Morgan's ankles, and this will be a procedure against the Jags, backing them up 5 yards.
We saw that blitz coming, and I think that caused the Jags to jump up there because Dowling was sending the house.
Yeah, he didn't have anything on the throw either.
No, he didn't.
And
a couple score updates here, Mark. I've got Ankeny leading Valley 2019. The Waukee Northwest game is tied in the 4th quarter now at 28. Southeast Polk is up on Johnston 17-10.
I appreciate that, Matt. Back to throw is Miller on 2nd and 15. Fires near side. The pass is caught. Nice catch that time by Cade Newman, the other tight end, and he gets it down inside the 15 to the 12-yard line of Dowling.
Big play there, and that one was just you run it to the sticks, you come back to it, and Miller is starting to find a little rhythm there throwing the football, as they have kind of abandoned the run here for the most part, and they're just sitting there chucking the football right now.
That game was for 13, but there was that big loss on the play and then the penalty. So it brings up 3rd and 2 for the Jaguars. Line of scrimmage is a Dowling 12. This drive started back at the Centennial 20-yard line. Here's Miller, inside handoff to Morgan, and he pushes forward. near the 10 or the 12, maybe the 11 for maybe a yard.
Yeah, he's going to be short of the first down.
Correct.
And good play there by that Dowling front. That defensive front of Bobo Hagan, Elcock, Bonanno, and then backed up by Schumacher, Miller, Blunt, and Joel Sanko. There's no room there for Ankeny to run. So now we're back to another 4th and 2.
And this will be the
Centennial
14th play of the drive. It's taken about 7 minutes off the game clock here in the third quarter. And we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take one ourselves. 2:47 left to go, third quarter. It's Dowling 17, Ankeny Centennial 3 on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.
Pass is incomplete, intended for number 23, Devin Good. Watson on the cover. Maroons take over.
Incomplete pass will turn the ball over on downs, and boy, what a time-consuming drive. 7-minute drive out of Centennial. Started on their own 20, 14 plays, and Matt Mandry, they turn it over, and Dowling takes over. 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line. What a job by the Maroon defense.
For the second time tonight now, they've stopped Centennial in the red zone on 4th down and 4th and short, no less. And 2 big plays by the defense, who's just been playing outstanding this season.
Dowling offense on the field, and they'll hand it off to one of their backup tailbacks, and let's see which one that is. It's either Pennington or Schmid, and I think it's Pennington on the carry, and it is, and he picks up yardage up to the 20, so a pickup of 8 yards on 1st down, 2nd down, and 2.
Pennington flew through there in a hurry. He says, I got a shot here for a couple carries. Make hay.
And back to the ground game. Handoff goes to Pennington, and he gets across the 20 up to about the 22-yard line. That should be near a 1st down.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the signal, but they are not. He's going to be, oh yeah, there they go. They give him the 1st down. Good strong run by Pennington. I like the way he finished that run right there. He kept his legs popping behind that line of scrimmage and was able to bowl forward and get those first down.
And you just wonder how long Ian Middleton, the Dowling running back, was out there on that last defensive series. We're out there for 7 minutes. We know that.
Yeah. And here's a chance, if this series being the last one of this quarter, you think, and get a little extra rest.
And off Pennington again. He stays in bounds and drives forward up to the near the 30-yard line. He'll be a few yards short of the 1st down on a 1st and 10 carry.
And that's a big 7-yard pickup right there for Pennington as he gets around the edge as they run to the short side of the field.
So 2nd and 3 Maroons as penalty flag offside Centennial.
I thought they were going to say lightning. I thought I saw a flash over here. And you always get that in the back of your head.
Yeah, you do. But we also have flash bulbs going on too because it's senior night. So I think we're good.
We're okay.
Are you going to radar?
Yeah,
we'll take a 1-minute break for radar here in a minute. No, we won't. we get the director and the producers all worked up. All right, it's 1st and 10 Dowling from their own 29. And Nahas handoff Pennington, and he's going to be drugged down in the backfield. Great job by the Jags, and they were in there all over that, led by Nolan Bennett, and also at the bottom of that pile, Rowan Doak, the backup quarterback who plays linebacker for the Jags, with the stop.
Yeah, Nolan Bennett's had a good night for the Jags defense, and he's come up and rallied to the football there from his safety position a number of times. He plays aggressively from back there and is all over the field.
Dowling with the two receivers to the right, or to the left rather, at the top of your screen. One of them is Preston Hoffbauer. And here's Nahas on play action. Back to throw, fires it out, and the pass is caught. Nice catch that time by the Maroons. And with the football is Hoffbauer down the far sideline. He goes, makes a move inside the 10. 5, touchdown, Preston Hoffbauer. How about that? His first touchdown of the season, and it comes from 70 yards out. And here's a replay.
That ball took so long to get there, and the defender from Centennial gambled, and that's what happens when you gamble. Right there, touchdown Maroons. What a run by Hoffbauer. He showed his speed there. No one was catching him. He had one block downfield, and great play.
Absolutely. Great play. Congratulations to him. And now the extra point is Dowling's got the...
Nahas had just enough on that thing, too, because he was a step or two away from going the other way.
And the extra point by Kuhn is up and good. So the Maroons increase their lead to 24-3. We're going to have a visit with Brian Morris about who we're going to have in the postgame. I think somebody just went to the top of the list.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, guys, I just texted you, Mark. We're going to change.
All right, we got to go to a break with 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's Dowling 24, Ankeny Centennial 3 on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.TV. At Valley Stadium on Dowling Senior Night, and a senior making a big play is Preston Hoffbauer on a 70-yard reception from quarterback Joey Nahas. And the kickoff returned by Good of Centennial, and Devin Good gets across the 25 up to the 27-yard line. That's where the Jags will start first and 10. Let's go down to Brian Morris with our Jenny Farrell sideline report. Take it away, Brian.
Yeah, again, you said it, Matt. As soon as the defender went for that pick, he had no help behind him, and Hoffbauer showed some speed on that, guys. We haven't seen a lot of that. He hasn't had as many opportunities to catch the ball, but he had some speed. Then he made that quick juke at the about 10-yard line to get in the end zone. Great play by the senior.
Well, when you're sitting there and you're running with Jeffrey Robertson and Sammy Drexler, it's hard to get your speed compared to those two, but he showed it right there. He's right there with him.
All right, low snap. Miller picks it up, gives it to Morgan, and he stood up, and that might be the final play of the third quarter as the Jags start their own 27 and maybe a yard up to the 28. Bring up 2nd and 9 when we return with the fourth quarter as senior night for Dowling Catholic here at Valley Stadium. Our score after 3 quarters of play, Dowling 24. Ankeny Centennial 3, back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.TV.
What if you could make a priceless difference in your community for as little as $5? With the Des Moines Catholic Worker House, you can. For nearly 50 years, the Des Moines Catholic Worker House has given the homeless and low-income community a place to feel welcomed. With your support, we could turn 3,000 free meals each month into 4,000. We could build a brand new warming and cooling center in our future facility. We could provide more hygiene products, more clothing, and more hope to those who need it most. Feed the hungry, clothe a neighbor, and spread your generosity throughout Des Moines by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. Donate online via PayPal or mail a check to make a priceless difference in your community today. Thank you so much for your support.
All right, we're back here at Valley Stadium, and here's a pass by Brecken Miller. It's broken up, incomplete. He had two receivers to choose from. Luke Mitchell, number 14, was one of them, and Cameron Miners, their leading receiver for Centennial, was the other, but broken up nicely by the Dowling defense as the Maroons lead it 24-3. We start the fourth quarter here on Dowling Senior Night, Matt Maindring.
Yeah, and for Hoffbauer, what a treat on Senior Night to make that play. One score update here. Waukee is leading Northwest 31-28 with 2 minutes to go in the game.
Wow. That would be a shocker if that holds up.
I might have that up on my phone.
You might have that, yes. Do you need a plug-in? I mean, last time you ran out of battery.
Yeah.
All right, here's Miller, and he's going to be sacked for a loss as the Jags had it at their own 28-yard line. Nobody open, and Brecken went down. And he gets back up. That's the important thing. You got to get back up. And he'll move the ball back to the 27-yard line. Loss of one.
Loss of one. And, in Ankeny, again, they're sitting there and having to throw the ball and back up and pass so much more than they are used to or want to. And it is a challenge for them to be able to sit there and throw the ball. It's not what their offense is designed to do.
Well, low snap, it dug out nicely by Noah Manning, punts it away, or rather Austin McIntyre punts it away, takes a Dowling bounce up to the 48-yard line. So the Maroons will start 1st and 10 from their own 48 on that punt by Austin McIntyre. With 11:11 remaining here in the fourth quarter, Dowling leading 24-3 over Ankeny Centennial. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. The Jenny Farrell team Remax Concepts sideline report with Brian Morris.
Guys, we've talked about this defense all year long. They just don't break. I mean, they have given up so few points, and we talk about the different players, Blount and Bombo, but I mean, this defense, to play this Centennial team tonight, had to play great team defense, and that's just what they've done.
Yes, they have. It's a compliment to them, and quite frankly, Matt, to what Brian, to his point, Dowling defense was out there a lot in that first quarter.
Yeah.
And let's go back to a first down carry into Centennial territory from Ian Middleton from his own 48. And be brought down at the Jags 46.
Ian Middleton with a nice run up the middle, and you're right, Mark. And after that first quarter, you thought this game was going to be a dogfight.
Were they going to be gassed?
The defense
have anything left in the tank to tackle and all that?
Yeah,
they did.
The defense couldn't shut them down, and here we are now, 24-3.
Right, 2nd down and 4 for the Maroons, and now we got a procedure call against Dowling. Somebody moved just a bit quick.
There's a lot of excitement over on the other side of town in Waukee. Yeah, we got it. It's 30. I'm watching on.
Well, you can say you're watching 30, on CISN.
Somebody, I got it on
Why
here.
Not 31, it, sure.
31-28 Waukee over Northwest right now. Northwest has the ball 2nd and 8 with 31 seconds to go at their 26-yard line, 24-yard line. So a little excitement over there.
Absolutely. Well, here it's 2nd and 10. And back to throw is Nahas. Rolls around now, scampers out. Caught by Sammy Drexler. He's been quiet tonight, really. And he's hit and dropped at the 40-yard line. And a little extracurricular activities going on. The Maroons do a good job of policing that, getting Cade Krause away from there.
Cade Krause.
He got a little upset somebody got an extra lick in.
Well, Cade Krause got the lick in. We're not going to kid you there, Mark. He was continuing to block and
go to the whistle.
He went to the whistle. There is no doubt about it.
Down to the Centennial 40, a gain of 6 that time by Sam Drexler. 1st and 10, Dowling. Drexler goes in motion. Here's a toss play on the jet sweep to the right, looking for room. Bounces outside, penalty flag down, and Drexler out of bounds inside the 20. This will come back. This will come back. So as we approach the 10-minute mark.
Northwest just completes a pass down to the 5-yard line. 9 seconds to go. And they're trailing by 3 points.
And a timeout.
And a timeout. What do you do?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, you draw up a play.
You got to run one pass. They have one more left, so they can run one play. Yeah.
Unbelievable. What a game over there. The Battle of Waukee, and it's at Northwest tonight. And Northwest, as we mentioned, coming in with a #1 overall seed and record, taking on Ankeny, or rather taking on the other Waukee team, is now the penalty against Dowling going to move this back to the 50-yard line. So Maroons going backwards here in this drive. And 9 on the play clock. Nahas snaps the ball, fakes it to Middleton. Back to throw is Joey, has time, and looking for someone, and throws it underneath the Middleton, incomplete, as Ian was a safety valve. He tried to get Jeffrey Smith. I'll tell you what, Nolan Bennett did a great job on Jeffrey Smith, keeping him neutralized on one-on-one coverage.
Had a great job of the secondary from Ankeny there, and Ian Middleton was the safety valve on that play, and he just didn't get his head around soon enough as
We're getting
the
ready
play went off.
Yeah, so number 20 Waukee, record of 2-5 at number 1 overall seed. Waukee Northwest undefeated at 7-0. What a game! It's coming down to the final play. They call another timeout.
They called another timeout.
Somebody did. They're icing each other. Back to throw is Nahas, caught by Sam Drexler down the far sideline and finally run out of bounds at the 30-yard line. And he's near a first down, and he stepped out of bounds 2 yards shy.
2 yards shy, and Sammy had to climb the ladder right there to catch that football. Nahas put a little gas on it and it went a little high, but he came down with it, and you see it on the replay here, and scampered down the sideline. Good tackle by Centennial to stop him short of the first down, but now it's 3rd and short for the Maroons.
18-yard gain. Pass play from Joey Nahas to Sam Drexler. 3rd and 2 Maroons at the Centennial 32. Dowling 24, Ankeny Centennial 3. Handoff Middleton. He's got the first down, angles towards the sideline, and he slid in to the 25-yard line out of bounds, and they say keep the clock running.
Keep the clock running, and that's a heady play from that senior here. Is we might be distracted for a play.
Well, I'll keep my eye. You keep
yeah,
an eye on that.
I got it. Yeah.
As now they're done icing themselves, aren't they? Over there at Waukee.
They sacked him.
So.
And anyway, so now it's going to be 5 seconds left. They're going to try a field goal, I'm assuming.
Back to this game. 1st and 10, Dowling at the Centennial 25. Great job by Middleton. Stayed in bounds. The clock running. Handoff goes to Ian, and he's almost hogtied, still being dragging tacklers, finally down right at the point of attack in the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, but good effort by Middleton to keep the energy going.
And it's interesting to watch him run and just keep bouncing and keep his legs going there, and it's a quasi, because they're just grabbing the back of his jersey. It's not a horse collar. They're not up around the neck, but they are grabbing his jersey, and it's the only way they can hang on to him.
So bring up 2nd down and 10. Game clock running, 8:30 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Dowling 24, Ankeny Centennial 3. Our halftime score was Dowling 10-3. Jags have scored the first points of the game on a field goal, and the Maroons have scored 24 unanswered points. Handoff Middleton, cuts inside and tripped up inside the 20. Nice job that time by Centennial. Saving the touchdown was Garrett Stevens.
Yeah.
And
he went low. He had to.
And stopped Middleton inside the 20. They're going to spot forward progress at the 17.
So it's a little short, 3rd and 2 again, but Ian Middleton going downhill, and now we got Pennington in the ball game.
So an 8-yard run, and now handoff to Pennington, and Centennial saw that, and it'll be a loss in the play. Back to the 22-yard line, loss of 5.
Yeah. And Pennington didn't have a chance right there as Centennial sent everybody in, and here you go for a field goal opportunity for the Maroons. And McConville earlier had a high snap that he got down and did a great job of getting it down. So it is a team game.
So the Maroons will attempting a field goal. This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt. All down and kick up, and it's a low kick. Did it go through? And it did not. Off the left, no good. So the score remains 24-3. Dowling leading Centennial as Kuhn's kick is left, and this is a 39-yarder. Now back to your Waukee game. We're going to keep it here.
There's a flag. I don't know. They missed the field goal. So Waukee missed the field goal. There's a short field goal, but now they've called a penalty.
That's Northwest with the ball.
Yeah, Northwest. Yeah, I know. They missed the field goal, but they called a penalty, so I'm not sure. Unless they called, a player had taken his helmet off, maybe.
Okay, well,
I don't know. Here. No, they're saying 3rd and 2, so he missed it once. They're going to give it to him again.
All right, Centennial with a first down here from their own 20. A little crossing pattern caught as Brecken Miller hooks up with Cade Newman on the reception, and Newman run out of bounds right at the 37-yard line to pick up a 17.
Check that. It's ball game. Waukee's going to upset Northwest.
And what's the final?
The final is going to be 31-28.
So number 20 Waukee comes in off a loss last week to Dowling and upsets Waukee Northwest, something no one else could do. And that'll be one for the Ages. They may have saved a playoff chance with Waukee. Back to throw Miller out of the backfield as Morgan caught. Morgan tripped up as he crossed the 40 up to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards.
And again, you know, you see Ankeny just going to the air. That's all they can do right now. And they're trailing 24-3. But Miller has, I've been impressed as the night goes on. The sophomore continues to make strong throws, and he's had a good second half.
2nd and 3, Centennial. Line of scrimmage is the Dowling 44. Dowling leading 24-3. 6:20 remaining, fourth quarter. Back to throw. Miller rolls to his right and throws it into a crowd. Pass is incomplete, and he did. He kind of tried to knife it in there, and his intended receiver was the other tight end, Owen Gaspery. He really has found those two tonight, Newman and Gaspery, but Miners has made the big play.
And if Blount would have got his head around it just a little bit, he'd have had an interception there as he threw that into coverage. But the defense from Dowling has continued to excel.
An updated score, Southeast Polk 24, Johnston 10 in the second half. Here's Morgan, and he's going to get loose. He breaks a tackle inside the 40, and he's going to go as J.J. Morgan got loose in the secondary, and he'll score from 44 yards out, and the Jags score their first touchdown of the night with 6:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. J.J. Morgan from 44 yards out.
Yeah, he got through there and broke a couple tackles and gets a stiff arm here at the 35-yard line, and scampers in. He's got some wheels, and once he got through there, you knew it was going to be a race to the goal line.
So the Jags go 80 yards on 4 plays, capped off by J.J. Morgan. Touchdown with 6:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. Now the extra point. Roland Doak in the hold. Long snapper for Centennial was Brant Russellberg. And the extra point up and good by Noah Manning. So it's 24-10. Dowling leading Centennial. 6:05 left in the fourth quarter. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. And if your old fireplace isn't giving you everything you want, you need to come see us so we can show you Heat & Glow's industry-leading gas fireplace inserts. A Heat & Glow gas insert will convert your old wood burner into a high-efficient gas fireplace that's easy to use and will warm your house. Come see us soon and get on the schedule for this winter's installations. For the best selection of fireplaces in the state of Iowa, come see Fireplace Superstore, just west of Homemakers on Douglas Avenue.
Back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Dowling senior night. Maroons lead it 24-10 as Centennial goes 4 plays, 80 yards, capped off by a J.J. Morgan 44-yard touchdown.
And the onside kick attempt goes out of bounds, which draws a flag. And
the Dowling football, Dowling 34. Let's go down to the own 35-yard line, it should be. And let's go down to the Jenny Farrell's sideline report. Brian Morris, come on in. We've had a lot of excitement here watching the Battle of Waukee.
I know. It was exciting. I have a friend texted me as well throughout the game, but that's why you got to play the game every week, guys, and that's a huge rivalry out there.
We were just talking up here, Brian. Valley losing, and you know who may be the new #1 seed in Class 5A Monday morning.
You got to take care of business again right after that touchdown went through.
Yeah.
It was like. But again, the Dowling defense, I think that caught up with them a little bit of being on the field so much.
Yeah, that could have been. And now a handoff to Middleton. Dowling takes over on their own 48-yard line, and Middleton carries to midfield. And they're going to spot him down at the Centennial 49, gain of 3 to bring up 2nd and 7. So you're right, Brian. The Maroons got a lot of business to take care of but they are in the hunt to have a new #1 overall seed in 5A, and it won't be Northwest. Wow.
Yeah, and the Ankeny game isn't a final yet, but they are up 27-19 over Valley right now. As the Maroons work the clock right now, they're just going to take the play clock down as much as they can with 5:27 to go in a 14-point lead.
This is what's amazing. You got to slow down after your goal is tempo, and now a handoff to Middleton. He crashed way up inside the 45, still on his feet, and he's near a first down if he didn't get it, and he did. To the 41-yard line, an 8-yard run by Middleton, and he was down actually at the 45, and he found a way to stay balanced.
He did, and that's great. That's great drill work right there. Coach Meeks did such a great job with those running backs, but Ian Middleton, it looked like he was going to go down at the 45 and just kept his feet and his head down and churned out a first down.
So 1st and 10, Dowling from the Centennial 41. Under 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 24, Ankeny Centennial 10. As you heard, Waukee upset #1 seed Waukee Northwest tonight, and Valley losing at Ankeny. So here's a handoff. Middleton, Ian with it inside the 35, and he goes all the way down, tripped up shy of the 30 at the 32-yard line, a gain of 9.
And all the secondary can do from Centennial is go down as low as they can on Ian Middleton as he barrels through there, as he stiff arms one runner and shakes off another, as that offensive line is just taking it to the Centennial front right now.
A lot of upsets going on. We're hearing some more scores that are turning. All right, 3rd and 1 Maroons from the Dowling 32. It's been Middleton, runs of 3, 8, and 9 yards. That sets up 3rd and 1 for the Maroons. One receiver on each side of the formation, 2 tight ends, handoff. Middleton, left side, trying to turn the corner. He does. He's got the first down and drug down at the 27 of Centennial. He'll pick up 5. They'll stop the clock for the first down as we're under 4 minutes to play. And the Maroons leading 24-10.
I believe, I was trying to get the number there, that's Braden Bogseth on the tackle as he drug Ian down from behind, and Ian's he wants the football right now. He is running hard, and that offensive line says, let's do this.
Dowling headed to the Iowa Wealth Management Red Zone, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth. Learn more at iowawealth.com. Our thanks to the Glazer family, John Libby, and of course Becca back in the office. Appreciate all their work and supporting Iowa Catholic Radio. Handoff, and that's Pennington. And he gets inside he's down to the 20, 8-yard gain. And boy, that's a change of pace. You go from Ian Middleton to Grayson Pennington.
Yeah.
And
that was Schmidt, guys.
Well, that was Smith.
They put him, 24 is Schmidt. 23, 24, 2 sophomores. And it was Smith. Thank you, Brian.
No worries.
A little flash through there as Smith flies through that line of scrimmage. He has got really good speed as he flies through there.
2nd and 2, Maroons. Line of scrimmage, Centennial 20. Under 3 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Don't forget, stay tuned. Post-game show, we'll have Brian Morris with interviews on the field with Dowling players and head coach Tom Wilson. Here's Schmidt with the carry again. And he tries to bounce outside the numbers. He's down to the 16-yard line. He'll pick up 4 and bring up a first down.
First down for the Maroons, and it's fun. Here you get Smith gets a little extra time and is getting some carries, and he's making his use of that time.
Absolutely, and that's what you do when you get your opportunity. And Maroons started out slow, and that's a credit to Centennial. It was 7-3 at halftime, Dowling, and the Maroons have just went on a tangent here in the second half. 1st and 10, Dowling from the 16, letting the play clock wind down. Handoff Smith. He blasts through the 20, down inside the 15, and all the way down the 11-yard line, a pickup of 5.
Takes a big hit at the end of that play, but just a strong run by Smith as he keeps powering through. That time through the left side of the line, and that is Carter Barrett, Kate Krause over there, and I'm sure Schmalbach was on that one as well as or Leighton Oldfield. He's in playing tight end right now.
Yeah, this is a clock-eating drive, which is what Dowling wants to do, and not necessarily score. All right, 2nd and 5 Maroons from the Centennial 11 with 1:35 remaining. Here's Nahas, handoff Smith, goes right over center, and is finally brought down right about the 7-yard line, a pickup of 4.
You can tell everyone in the world that Dowling necessarily doesn't want to score, but right now, if you're Smith, he wants to score, and he wants to Give me this opportunity, Henry Smith says. Let me get in the end zone. Well, now they're going to, it looks like they're going to take a knee.
3rd and 1, and Maroons need to get the first down. And now Nahas, and he doesn't get it. Good job by the defensive line for Centennial. It'll bring up 4th and 1 for Dowling at the 6-yard line, maybe the 7.
And they got to snap it one more time. And so they either got to kick the field goal or go for it with 40-second clock and 50 seconds, about 20-second differential.
Yeah, they're bringing Kuhn in, so Ryan Kuhn will attempt the field goal, and this is the 10th play of the drive. This will be a 24-yard field goal from the left hash. Dowling going right to left, south to north here at Valley Stadium. He'll kick it from the left hash. The holder will be McConville, Owen McConville. And now a timeout called by Dowling. We'll take it with them. 27 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. 24-10, Dowling leading Centennial. Back in 1 minute along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and CISN. Here at Valley Stadium, and here is a 24-yard field goal by Ryan Kuhn from the left hash. Kick is up, and it is through. And the Maroons tack on 3 more points and lead it 27-10 over Ankeny Centennial with 23 seconds remaining. Here in the 4th quarter, Mark Amadale, Matt Mandring, Brian Morris on a Friday night that got off to a late start due to the weather that moved in, but both teams gained momentum after a very low-scoring first quarter. Centennial led 3-0 at the end of the first quarter, and then Dowling led at halftime 7-3, and it's been all Maroons here in the 4th quarter. Let's go down to our Jenny Farrell sideline report. That's Brian Morris on the Dowling sideline, Brian.
Yeah, guys, look at the 2 sophomore running backs for Dowling, Schmid
and Pennington.
Yeah, I mean, they go about 175. So you think of them, again, I hate looking forward, but 2 more years, they're going to probably put on about 20 pounds of muscle. They're kind of set back there, but Ian Middleton's he's just one of my favorite players. And you think back to the days of Bob Dare. Do you think Bob Dare would have saw Ian and said, man, I can create a state champion in wrestling? His balance is unbelievable.
Yeah. Low to the ground, hard to tackle. Yeah, you're exactly right. And
he's a great kid, and Ian, watching him evolve through his 4 years of high school, he's just one of those kids that's a leader and just an outstanding young man.
And a captain on this Dowling team. Now here's a kickoff by Kuhn. It's going to be fielded at the 2-yard line by Centennial and hit and drop from behind. Penalty flag down late. And so goes the ball carrier. And was that good on the return? It might have been.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Dowling leading 27-10. That last Dowling drive, 11 plays, 52 yards, capped off by a Ryan Kuhn 24-yard field goal. And for Kuhn tonight, that's his second 24-yard field goal of the evening, and 17 seconds remaining. So I'm guessing Centennial will just take a knee. They'll be holding on the return against Centennial. And Brian, I think are we coming to a conclusion of who you're going to try to line up for interviews?
Yep, I think it's going to be Garrett. We're going to try and get, Jackson Miller and Preston Hoffbauer.
So Jackson Miller on the defensive side, he had a pretty good night with.
Yeah, he was in on a lot of tackles and.
He had a good night. He stepped up after Pagano was gone down, and
they kind of moved him around out there. You're right.
Yep.
That is awesome, man.
Just make sure they zoom in on me when they do the interview.
Well, the camera's up here, so they're going to have to do a lot. So back to throw is Miller out of the backfield. He throws it out, caught out of the backfield by Centennial, and that is Devin Good, and that should do it with 5 seconds to play Game clock continues to run. And it'll go final. Final score, Dowling 27, Ankeny Centennial 10. Dowling improves its record to 7-1 on the season. The Centennial Jaguars fall to 4-4. And slow start, Matt. 3-0 Centennial at the end of the first quarter. It was 10-3 Dowling at halftime. 10-3 Dowling at halftime because Kuhn kicked his first field goal right before the half, and Middleton on a 1-yard touchdown run. And then the second half, touchdowns by Middleton, Hoffbauer, and a field goal by Kuhn, and then a late score by J.J. Morgan for Centennial, and our final 27-10. We're going to take a 2-minute break along our network lines. We'll give Brian a chance to get his interview set up. So we will interview a couple of Dowling players, and along with head coach Tom Wilson. So please join us for the post-game show on CISN and Iowa Catholic Radio alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris on our Jenny Farrell sideline report. He's in charge of that all season long, and we'll get to him following this 2-minute break. Again, the final, Dowling Catholic 27, Ankeny Centennial 10. The final from Valley Stadium on Dowling Senior Night, Week 8 in the books on Iowa Catholic Radio and CISN.TV.
Ever have one of those awkward moments when a business disappointed you? You got ripped off? Didn't get what you expected? The Better Business Bureau can help you avoid these uncomfortable situations. BBB accredited businesses are honest, ethical, and reviewed annually by the BBB. Don't experience another awkward moment with a bad business. Trust the ones that operate with integrity. Look for the BBB seal. It's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Western lets your UTV power through the storm. The Impact V Plow and Impact Straight Blade, with the features the pros demand. Custom tailored for your UTV. And to keep your work top notch, rely on the Tornado UTV Hopper Spreader. Now that's a job well done. Western, more jobs done faster.
Visit Truck Equipment Inc. today at truckequipmentinc.com.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Thank you for tuning into today's broadcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our live events. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram in the description below for more coverage of Central Iowa high school sports and the Des Moines Menace. Now, back to the game.
Right, we're back here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Final score, Dowling Catholic 27 and Ankeny Centennial 10. The Maroons improved their record to 7-1. They've won 7 in a row after their opening night loss to the Valley Tigers. And for Centennial, they fall to 4-4. Up next for Centennial, they are home for their final regular season game next Friday night as they will host Sioux City North. 7 o'clock kickoff, or 7:30 kickoff at Ankeny Stadium, and it'll be senior night for the Jaguars. And for Dowling Catholic, the Maroons will be on the road as we'll end the regular season in Marshalltown. Will be radio only next week. Dowling at Marshalltown with the 7 o'clock kickoff. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and Brian Morris. Brian getting set for post-game interviews as he's waiting for a couple
there's our right-hand man on the board, Mr. Wilcombe right there.
Roman?
Yeah,
he's here
Roman.
tonight. Well, why wouldn't he be? Senior night, and he's here to support the Maroons.
Yeah.
And we got obviously Vinny Cataldo and John Nielsen back on the Iowa Catholic Radio Board. Our thanks to Aaron Bandy, our director here, along with Sam Nord, who's our photographer. And yes, Brian, Sam's going to get a close-up of you and the players. That'll come in. Is that all right?
Sounds fabulous.
All right, I'll let you get set up with our first interview tonight for the Maroons. Tell you what, Mr. Miller comes in, Jackson Miller, fourth in the team in tackles with 26 this year. He's got 1 interception. Wears number 33 very proudly, and he's with our own Brian Morris. Take it away with the Dowling senior linebacker, Jackson Miller. Brian?
At Jackson, the defense again tonight came through. The first quarter, you guys were out there a lot, but you didn't give up the touchdown. Talk a little bit about this bend, don't break mentality of this defense.
Oh my gosh, man, all the guys, it's like our brotherhood's so strong. You know, if one guy messes up, there's, 10 other guys there patting him on the back, being like, hey, get the next one, let's go head up. And, I mean, when a big play happens, we're right back on the field, we're right there. We're all 11 strong.
Leo Pagano goes down, and it kind of shifts kind of the defense. Tell me a little bit about your role and how that shifted.
Oh, man, it's been an adjustment. I was playing safety, but now moving to Mike linebacker, I'm willing to play wherever it takes for this team to be successful. And, I'm trying to play my best for Leo because, that's a terrible situation there. But, I love him, and, I'm just trying to fill his shoes. It's big shoes to fill there.
Well, you're going into the last regular season game again as a captain. What's keeping this – what are you doing as a captain to keep this team focused on just 1 week at a time?
During the game, some people were talking about scores like of other games going on right now. I'm like, hey, this is our game. We still got to finish. When I'm out here for the last drive, I was like, hey, 2-3 more plays. That's it. Let's go finish it out. Just don't look at anything else. Days on days. Stacking days on days.
Mark or Matt, maybe you should take some of that versus doing that other game.
Exactly.
But anyway, up to you guys.
Hey, Jackson, I got a question. This is Mr. Mainring up here. And one question, you're on special teams, and I think on about almost 3/4 of the kickoffs, you are the guy. And you're making the tackle on that kickoffs. And talk about that a little bit and how important those special teams are.
Special teams, the most important phase of the game we focus on in that practice, I'd say more than any other team in the CIML. Every day it's a new one, and I love just getting out there, running down the field, and using my speed because that's my best asset. And all the guys on that on special teams are really hungry. They all want tackles, so we all just fly down there, make plays, have fun. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly is. And Jackson, first of all, congratulations, named a captain this year, and that's got to be pretty proud. That means you worked your tail off to get to that part. But senior night, and talk a little bit about that. You're escorted with your mom and dad and your sisters before the game. I know we had the delay in the game, but talk about that moment and being named a captain before the year.
Yeah, well, first off, thank you for the congrats. It's awesome walking my family. They've always been there. My dad's always coaching me. He's helping me watch film. My mom's making food for me after practice. That I couldn't do without them. It's a team effort, and they're there for me all the time. I love it. And my sisters, they're always supporting me too. They're always asking me about football, how I'm doing, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's awesome.
Well, you're going to study pre-med, and if you become a doctor, let me know where you're at because I may need one here in a few years.
Will do.
All right, Jackson. Congratulations,
Jackson.
You want to shout out to anybody out there in the audience?
Anybody in the audience? Yeah, both my grandparents, Grandpa and Grandma Miller, and Grandpa and Grandpa Odeffer, always coming here. They're always here for me. Odeffer's got to come 3 hours, so couldn't be more proud to have them here.
That's awesome.
Love all them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Jackson, thank you. Congratulations. That's Jackson Miller, Dowling Catholic linebacker, a senior, one of 32 seniors being recognized before the game, and he certainly was with his family. So Dowling, again, the winner tonight, 27-10 over Ankeny Centennial. We'll go back to the field. Brian Morris with our next guest. And, Brian, I'll let you take it away with the guy who caught his first touchdown of the season, Preston Hoffbauer.
Yeah, Preston, talk about senior night. You showed some wheels, I said, on the field. We don't get to see that very often, but you made the guy miss and you were gone. Talk about that play.
Yeah, it was kind of an option route, and I came back and once I caught it, I just saw open grass, and just try to hit as hard as I could.
The wide receiver room, you guys got a lot of speed and a lot of talent. Tell me about that brotherhood.
Yeah, I feel like we're a great group. I feel like we all just want the best for each other, and I think that makes us special, and it's a great group of guys. I wouldn't want to be, anyone else.
The senior night, again, special night. Talk a little bit about just the emotions that went through that. And then when you scored that touchdown, your teammates all came out and congratulated.
It was a great feeling. I wouldn't want to do it on any other night. Senior night, I just felt it was a little more special for sure.
All right, guys.
Well, Preston, you're one of that many receivers that Dowling gets in the mix, and I know you're one of the seniors. You got the speedsters ahead of you. We talk about Drexler and Roberts, but tonight it was you. 70-yard touchdown. That'll be on my highlight reel because I about lost my mind when you scored. But let's talk about the move you made at the 10-yard line to cut it up, and that was a tremendous move, and I think Brian caught that too.
Yeah, I want to shout out Jeffrey. He gave me a nice little block at the end, and I just tried to, cut back a little bit and, just made a move at the end.
I got 2 questions, Jeffrey. We noticed throughout the year, talk about the blocking. How often do you guys practice blocking as receivers? And because it's so vital to the big plays that Dowling's able to execute.
Yeah, I think Coach Cataldo, really harps on blocking. We work on it, basically every day at practice, and he wants us to be, really good blockers. We take pride in that too. So, I just think blocking, big part of the game, big part of receiving game, and we try to do a real good job at it.
Well, this will go down in the Hoffbauer family folklore night. Senior night, you paid credit to Coach Cataldo, and you score your first touchdown of the year, and it was a 70-yarder. He went right through the red zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Preston, one more thing. You practice all summer, you go through the year just waiting for your shot. How does it feel right now?
It feels great. I've been trying to wait for my opportunity, and it finally came. I thank God for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got a lot of people behind you that are pulling for you. One of them you mentioned tonight, Coach Cataldo, and he's your position coach. Preston, congratulations on the win. Stay healthy, and we'll see you next week up in Marshalltown.
Sir,
congratulations, Preston.
Yep, Preston Hoffbauer, Dowling Catholic receiver on senior night, and he had a 70-yard catch, his first touchdown of the year, and he got some help from his friends, and he paid tribute to that.
He did.
Again, the final, Dowling 27, Ankeny Centennial 10. You're listening to the post-game show here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and let's go back down the field with Brian Morris. He has head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic.
Coach, we talked at halftime again. That offensive line seemed to control the line of scrimmage. Seemed to do more of that in the second half. And again, Ian Middleton, just another big night from him. But the Preston gets a touchdown, and again, that sideline's erupted for him.
Well, Preston is a great story, and he's an awesome kid. Has worked his fanny off. Played a little bit of both ways, and then we have him playing offense now. And quite frankly, the opportunities aren't plentiful because he's obviously Jeffrey and Sam, and then you've got Jimmy, and then Preston happened to be in there during that time, and Coach Cataldo has a lot of I didn't even know who was in the ball game at the time, and then I see Preston going down the boundary, and so happy he scored on that. Awesome kid.
Yeah, senior night again. We talked to Garrett Miller, one of the captains. He had to kind of shift positions with the injury to Leo Pagano. But what's the emotion again for you and for the players on senior night?
Well, to be honest with you, it's tough with the delay tonight, and then you have 32 seniors, and you have dancers, and you have cheerleaders, and the next thing you know, you're waiting around for a while. And that part, just challenge the kids to, those things we can't control. We talked about it all week, that everything but the weather delay. Our kids were ready to play. I think Centennial's a good football team, and Zero is a really, really good back. They made a couple plays in the pass game, but for the most part, I thought we played really hard and played together. If you look at Preston's touchdown, Jeffrey Roberts is down there blocking his rear end off. Sam Drexler on Ian's touchdown on our boundary had his kid on his back. So those are the kinds of things that make a difference.
Last question for me, Coach, but you're 8 weeks into the season. You got one more game next week and then the playoffs. How do you keep this team focused just one game at a time? Because, there are different scores going around. Teams are losing that maybe shouldn't lose. So you just got to keep them focused.
Well, if anybody's got the magic answer for 16, 17, 18 years old, I'd take it. But to be honest with you, it comes before this week or it comes before next week. That's just how we do things, and it doesn't always work, but it's talked about all the time, and the reasons for it. And we really challenge our kids each and every week, and usually things have to be focused. We've told them that social media doesn't matter, what anybody else says doesn't matter. What really matters is the guys in the locker room and our care and for each other and playing for each other. And it's not that our fans don't matter, but they do. But I just don't want our kids to be hearing, well, this team beat the other team by this much, so you guys will do this. That it doesn't matter. And we just have to, again, keep that message consistent with them.
Matt? Mark?
Well, Coach, first of all, congratulations. Week 8, a big win over Centennial. Slow start, and one in which, and we talked about this in the first quarter, I believe, your defense was out there a long time, yet they held this high, potent Centennial team to one touchdown, and that was late in the game. But they were out there a long time and just kind of gutted it out after that first quarter.
They did. They've been great all year, and those kids take a lot of pride in that defense, and there's some leadership there. You get Jackson Miller, and you throw Ian in there, and Bobo in a quiet sort of way is a leader. Carlos Blunt as a junior is a great leader. Maddox Capola, although it being his first year, he's a competitor. He's played in a lot of basketball games, and so he's not afraid to lead. And that's really what helps get us through that is the player-led team and a player-led defense.
Coach, my voice is a little more normal this week, and one of the things that struck me through this game was how you made Ankeny Centennial one-dimensional, and you took away that run game. And I for all the times we've seen Centennial play, this is probably the most passes they've thrown in a game against us. Yeah,
and Zero's good.
Yeah.
One of their better linemen didn't play, which he's a really good player. But they're so diversified in their attack, and sometimes they get you outnumbered, sometimes they get you outflanked, and that happened a couple of times. But we just stayed the course. For the most part, I thought we tackled okay. The big long run by Zero at the end, we didn't. But for the most part, I thought we did a decent job of that.
Yeah, I think one other thing, too, against that offense, it's so hard to replicate that as a live thing on your scout team with your scout team offense. And it seemed to me that the transition to the game, the speed, it took your defense, like a series or so to get the timing down correctly.
That's 100% true. We talked about it this week. It's not that our scouties did a bad job. It's just not easy to simulate. And we kept telling the kids it's going to be faster, it's going to hit quicker, all of those things. But, it reminded me when you go back to the Dyke New Hartford days playing Appleton and Parkersburg, you got to weather the storm. Mm-hmm. And then you start getting your bearings about you, and I thought our kids did that tonight.
Coach Wilson, thanks for joining us here in the postgame show. Enjoy the victory, and Week 9's upon us. We'll see you in Marshalltown next Friday night.
Right. Congratulations, Coach.
Yep, thank you.
Head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic with the win tonight. And, I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to mention it here. Coach Wilson, 21 years at Dowling, 215 wins, 36 losses, 86% winning percentage since he started 21 years ago. 33 years overall and 307 wins now in his career. And what a true gentleman, great guy, good to work with him every week. I get to see him, and we do the coaches show on Thursday nights, and it's always something positive and always something about the program that he has really done a great job with.
The thing that strikes you when you're talking with Coach Wilson is it's always kids first, and if you're going to survive in this game, working with high school kids and all that stuff, you see some coaches that come and go because they want it to be about them as a coach and say, here's my record, here's this, here's that. But in the end, it's got to be about the kids, and that's what makes Tom and his coaching staff special.
All right, that'll wrap up our broadcast on the CISN side. Our thanks to our director, Aaron Bandy, and our cameraman, Sam Nord, and for Matt Mandring, I'm Mark Amadale. Brian Morris was our sideline reporter. So, again, the final from Valley Stadium on Dowling Senior Night in week number 8. Dowling the winner, 27-10 over Ankeny Centennial, and CISN will have a game next week. And for now, so long for the CISN crew.